This video contains gratuitous use of profanity and uncomfortable pauses to compensate for lack of professionalism and original thought. Viewer discretion advised.
Oh shit! Mud shark? You're not a mud shark. You're barely even a fish.
This is a Pink Podcast.
Fuck up.
Win by Two, they're actually a podcast out of Philadelphia. Who knows to Win by Two radio?
Where's John DiCaprio? Did he ask about me?
Fuck Carl. He's effectively done in this business. On his big podcast, catching people with Dr. Mingo. So I'm a dumb guy.
I'm hoping John DiCaprio is, but...
Take your fucking bra off, Barry!
Like, let me guess, because he attacked everyone?
I'm gonna be yelling at him the whole time tonight. Your show sucks!
How are we doing today? Welcome into the show. We have a good one today. How's everyone doing on this Wednesday morning? Fuck, I forgot my hat. Well, that's gonna have to do without it. Hair's not even done. What the fuck? Welcome into the show, ladies and gentlemen. How are we feeling today? We are definitely back and doing it better than ever before. Chad Zumach has a message at the top.
We are back. We're in the bunker. We're doing it. We're having it. Going down. Going down, everybody.
It's going down today. I can't wait. We have a great show to get into on today's program. Very excited to get into some new characters. It's always fun getting into new people and seeing how they approach this whole thing we call podcasting, internet entertainment. One of those new people we have on today's show is the guy right here. If you can bring your attention onto the screen here. I know some people might be busy. It's a work Wednesday, I know. But Mr. Kill Everything is a subject on today's show. Who is Mr. Kill Everything? What is his story? Where did he come from? Who are the Kill Everythings? I mean, that's such a harsh name, you know, to have as a streamer when you're in this little universe, especially when you're like a game streamer, an anime, Japanese, role-playing, first-person game streamer to call yourself Mr. Kill Everything. It's pretty pretty alarming stuff off the bat. So this is the guy, Mr. Kill Everything here. We're going to be taking a look at some of his podcasts, taking a look at some of his past endeavors and what he's into, what he likes to do, what kind of whiskey he drinks and cigars he smokes, and we're going to be breaking it down and having multiple laughs at this guy's expense. Why? Hey, John, why are you killing Mr. Kill Everything? I was going to say, why are you covering Mr. Kill Everything? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Mr. Kill Everything is one of these guys who flies under the radar, and then finally, when he thinks no one's watching, he flies too close to the sun, and that sun being MLC Podcast with Kevin Brennan.
You fucking hack!
Mr. Kill Everything has been a frequent guest on MLC especially the last month. And he had an outing over the weekend, which I was watching in complete awe. I was watching in amazement as this guy would take down another. Like, I drink on the show. You've never seen me as fucked up as some people like Mr. Kill Everything. So he goes on MLC, then he immediately goes right over to Pat Dixon's podcast, Late Night with Dixon. I don't know. I don't even know what Pat Dixon's up to. Point of the story is, though, Mr. Kill Everything made an ass out of himself, and we like to laugh at people who make asses out of themselves, especially when they can't handle their liquor. That's funny to me. He claims he's 38 years of age. I don't know about that. We might need to see a driver's license, MKE. It's the abbreviation for Mr. Kill Everything. We're going to need to see a driver's license because something isn't adding up. Something isn't adding up. And that something is what we're going to be breaking down here on today's show. Give me 1 second. I got to clear my throat here. So we will be breaking down the kill stream on today's show, which I'm very excited for. We have some other guys we're going to be following up on, some real bores. And it pains me to even have to go there, to be quite honest with you. Because it's very hard to watch some of these people, a la Pat Dixon, a la Earl Skakel, a la Anthony Mazer. Some call him Chad's fucking butt buddy. Other people call him... Other people don't even know who he is, to be quite honest with you. But Tony Mazer is somebody who I've been watching now for the almost better part of a year. We've noticed Tony on Chad Zummick's show, Kicking It with the Mud Shark, hit new series. And Tony is Chad's yes man. And there's nothing I hate more than a yes man ball washer. And that's exactly who Tony Mazer aspires to be every turn of his, pathetic life, really, quite frankly. Tony Mazer, though, over the summer, we had covered Tony Mazer claiming that he was going to be, he was moving into a new house and he was very excited. He was going to be embarking on a new studio, which I thought to myself, hey, all power to you, man. You want to build a studio? Something better than, if we remember Tony Mazer podcasting from his back porch, his back patio porch in the woods, feeding the fucking birds. Tony Mazer claimed that in about right around the end of July, beginning of August, I want to say. Now, we're currently in January. Today's date, I believe, is the 24th of January. And Tony Mazer finally, much like Chad Zumock, mind you, keep that in mind, Tony Mazer finally uncovers a glimpse of what his new studio is going to look like. And that's something we're going to be getting into as well. I mentioned Earl Skakel. We covered Earl Skakel the last show on Sunday. Now, I know that left some people probably with a sour taste. Oh, how could you make fun of Earl? He's so funny. He's the roast master. Roast Master Earl, they call him. And quite frankly, Earl, I think, was a fan of this show. Or at least a listener. I don't know about a fan. Maybe See, my speculation with a lot of these guys is they show you they show you their hand. I mean, they show you who they are right at the top. So they advocate support for you, which Earl did. I mean, way back when Al was, on the show last winter, when a lot of you first discovered who Win by Two actually was. Earl would, frequently be in this chat, loving the chat, and, he would DM me on Instagram, yo, you're doing a phenomenal job, great work, bud, keep it up. To which, I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, this guy, he doesn't seem like a bad guy, and that's not my problem with her. I don't think Earl is a bad guy. I think he's a boring guy. I think he doesn't have a plan. And, he has the capabilities, just like all of us do, to boot up a live stream and go live and really deliver nothing. There's no jokes. There's no substance. So we covered Earl on Sunday when Al was here. No Al today in studio, forewarning. So if you came here for Al, you might want to see yourself out now because it's just going to be me flying solo today. I think we're going to be back on Saturday. I think Al will be joining us then. So no Al today, but we covered Earl, and we covered Earl at the top of the show, so go check it out. I mean, it was very, light coverage. I mean, we really didn't even get into all the Earl stuff. And then Earl, since we covered him Sunday afternoon, Earl has been booting up live stream after live stream after live stream, and he's changed a lot of things, which is, as a host who critiques a lot of this shit, I'd love to see it. So, really, I tip my hat to you, even though I'm not wearing a hat today. But, just picture that I am. And I tip my hat to Earl Skakel for actually attempting to, want to change and be better in this little live streaming universe called the Hackverse, Mudverse, or just live streaming in general. Because at the very least, that's what we want these motherfuckers to do. Is, stop just putting in the bare minimum effort. And I've repeated myself ad nauseum now at this point, and people are probably sick of even hearing it. But I do give credit where credit is due, and I don't want that to go, fly under the radar, because when people do something that's worth applauding, we'll applaud it. But, quite frankly, most of these motherfuckers don't give a shit about their product. They just go on and expect donations. Speaking about donations, we also are going to be keeping an eye. I have my eye on SteelToe Morning Show. You guys know the most hated show probably on the internet. And it looks like they're going to hit their goal today, but they were struggling, begging earlier, so we're probably not even going to get into that. I was hoping they weren't going to hit their goal and we would celebrate, all of us together. We would celebrate and drink and pop bottles to them not hitting their goal, but it looks like they're going to hit it. They're about $55 away from their goal. How pathetic. These guys, really... I said it on my last show. I was covering SteelToe on my last show. It was like the last segment I did. And I just felt bad. You know what I mean? It's like, kicking a dead dog or, I don't know. It's just making fun. I don't even know. I really don't even know. SteelToe, there was a time and place last year in 2023 where SteelToe was, the talk of the town. I couldn't get enough SteelToe. I loved watching them just completely collapse right in front of our eyes, to be quite honest with you. But now it's just, they've just gotten too pathetic. There's a level to who I cover and why I cover the people that I do cover. And when it gets to the level of just, you're just below like what dirt is, picture like dirt on the ground. When you're below that level, it's like, I pity you. You know what I mean? So if SteelToe somehow does miss the 55, which they probably won't, we'll tune in and see what's going on for SteelToe. But if not, no SteelToe today. So yeah, welcome to the show. We have a lot to get to in a little bit of time. I plan on wrapping all this up by 4 p.m. MLC time because I know everyone likes to go over and watch MLC and Brennan bitching at the, what Stuttering John did and what Shuley did. And, quite frankly, I enjoy some of that as well when Brennan's on fire. So we'll try to wrap up everything around 4 o'clock. We also have some sad news at the top of the show. This thing's been circulating. Before I get to that, let's check in with some of the chat here. I saw Super coming in from Jeff Closer. Appreciate the $4.99. Jeff, where's Mersh at? Mersh!
Man, money's just fake, man.
Not to you, mother. Right. Maybe not to, maybe to you, not to us, Mersh. Money is real to us around here. More like Mr. 8 Wait, hold on. You're gonna have to help me out with this abbreviation here, Jeff. More like Mr. 8 everything. There it is. Sick burn on this guy right here, Mr. 8 everything. And that's the funny thing about these two. Like, they have like such a big problem, or at least they expressed that they had issues with the one cuck shark, Chad Zumach. And they were making fun of his weight, which is kind of odd because you look at Mrs. Kill Everything, and this, I mean, people want to make fun of Kate Meany's arms. Mrs. Kill Everything makes Kate Meany's arms look like, I mean, fucking twigs, quite frankly. I mean, this chick, Mrs. Kill Everything, is, to make fun of Chad's weight, I mean, is pretty rich. It's like, take a look in the mirror. A lot of these people, I assume they just don't own mirrors. Patrick Melton being one of them. Mrs. and Mr. Kill Everything. Like, they just don't own a mirror in their house. I mean, I don't know if this is a new trend in 2024 where people are just going mirrorless. But I think that's the case because they just have no self or social awareness. They can't read the room. I honestly don't know what the answer to that question is, but it's bizarre. We'll get into that. Thank you, Jeff. We do appreciate the $4.99 helping keep the lights on around here, of course. All right. So, so I mentioned, we have some sad news at the top of the show, and it kind of bums me out to do this at the top, to be quite honest with you guys. But it bums me out, and I've dove into this. Let me take that. I've dove into this a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. I dove into this a little bit to try to get some clarity to whether or not this was a real thing or if this was a work. I mean, a lot of things in this universe is a work. I mean, it's just kind of all nonsense, fake. How can we drum up the most controversy and the most drama for clicks? That's really what it boils down to at the end of the day when it comes to all these guys. But I couldn't find any definitive evidence. It's easy for me to say. Any definitive evidence that this was actually indeed a work. So, to my knowledge right now, what I have here is not a work, and it is actually true. And if true, it's always sad to see something like this. It always is sad. Someone saying R.I.P. Softcast. No, that's not it. I know Honk the Clown would be jumping for joy if Softcast just croaked over and fucking drowned in his cereal. I know that would be the case, but it's not Softcast. We're going to be RIPing today and sending off to a farewell. And mind you, if this is a work, I don't know what I'll do. But you're not going to like it. Quite frankly, if you play me for a fool when we're about to cover this story now, I'm not going to be too thrilled. Hold on, let me just exit this off the screen here. We'll get to that in a second. Before I get to that, we'll go. Kiff Dunnage coming in for the $1.99. Thank you, Kiff. Says birthday shout-outs to Mr. Neil Diamond. Well, happy birthday, Neil Diamond. To be quite honest with you, though, I'm not a huge Neil Diamond fan. I was more of a, or maybe I am a Neil Diamond fan. Is it Neil Young is the one I don't like? I get those two Neils confused. I definitely don't like Neil Brennan. But as it pertains to Young or Diamond, I forget, to be quite honest with you. But either way, happy birthday, Neil Diamond. Probably, I'd venture to guess, in his 70s at this point. 75, 80, maybe, possibly. I'm not quite sure. But happy birthday, Mr. Neil. And thank you for the $1.99 Kiff. We do appreciate that, man. All right, so I want to touch on this really fast here, and this is sad. So, guys, you might want to grab your tissues, ladies, especially. Maybe grab a drink to kind of subdue the pain here that it's going to cause everyone. But we had one Joey C. It appears to be he is no longer with us, Mr. Joey C. So this broke. Let's go to camera 2 here. This broke, I think, 2 days ago, which was very bizarre because Joey C. reached out to me 2 days ago. And let me see if I could bring up the comment here. It wasn't a DM. It was a comment, a public comment on YouTube. It was one of, I think it was the best of video he commented on. So let me see if I can't find this really fast. I should have probably had that set up. But let's see. Where's the fucking upload? Here we go. Best of. So, yeah, if you could see here, where's it at? Joey C, right there, boom. And he goes, Blade, my brother, how are you? How was your holidays? Just wanted to say hello to you and win by 2. So he's saying hello to me twice. That's pretty funny. I'd be like saying, hello to, Donald Trump and Trump Towers. You know what I mean? So to which I replied, what's going on, Joey? How you making out? Let's get back, get you back on the show soon. And as you can see, this is from 2 days ago and a day ago. Not a day ago, a day ago. And then it broke, I believe it was Sunday night or Monday morning. I'm not even quite sure, maybe even Tuesday now at this point. It broke that one Joey C has passed on into the spirit world. I mean, there he is right there looking, dapper with the Superman hat and the wife beater. It's kind of foreshadowing wearing a wife beater. I mean, there he is, happy, looks healthy in his studio where he creates the magic. And then, you scroll over to this picture here. And apparently, I guess this was written by Mr. C. Mrs. C. The caption goes, "My husband, pray for him. I blame you, Stuttering John." I mean, that's pretty bizarre to blame one man for another man's death, unless Stuttering John actually killed him. I hate you, I hate you, I guess, Mrs. C. Now, a lot of people are speculating, like, is this real? Is this not real? I mean, you see right here on this fucking piece of tape, the date reading April 20th. Now, we can't quite make out what these numbers are, but yeah, I mean, so the date's really off, so it's pretty bizarre. I guess a nurse just, got her calendar confused, or she wasn't, keeping, she's not, on the same time schedule as the rest of us. I don't know what was going on in this nurse's head. Maybe she was just, maybe she was a fan of Joey C, and she was just trembling in sadness and depression seeing him. Maybe she was an avid viewer of, the baby goat, as a lot of people call him. But this hit my desk, and, I just couldn't help but notice, because I'm like, who in their fucking right mind would actually do something so insane as to, post a picture and act like you're, fighting for your life? So, I mean, I really hope this is the actual case. Like, I don't want to even pray for, like, your heart attack or anything like that. But I really do hope that's the case, because if it's a work, then, it's just like, holy shit. Now, maybe it is a work. I haven't seen any, like I said, definitive information saying or stating otherwise. So, this is kind of all I'm going off of. But, yeah, we're sending, you see my lost interest there, sending love for a speedy recovery. Joey, you got this. Very insane. Now, people are pointing out that this has to be fake because, or this was, from a picture when we talked about his, he has a deaf daughter who can't hear him or can't hear anything, not just him. Or maybe she just plays pretend. Maybe she acts like she's deaf just so she doesn't have to stand her father's fucking voice. But people are speculating that this is, a picture from that instance because his hair is jet black. I don't know. Either way, Joey, if you had a heart attack, man, that's pretty fucked. Trying to be like Anthony Cumia, I see. But look, if it's a work, you're going to have to meet the wrath of God, But if it's not, then obviously we wish you a Merry Christmas. And we wish you well, as Ray DeVito would say. So I just want to play a little a farewell because, he don't look, if this is real, he don't look good here. He doesn't look good. He looks like he's getting ready to pass on through to the other side, like the first song we started with on today's program. The Doors, Jim Morrison. So let's pour up a shot in remembrance to what once was Joey C, Catalano TV. I'm going to pour one up. Have one with me. If you're drinking today on today's show, please drink responsibly and definitely don't drink and drive unless, of course, you have to get somewhere and you just can't, you just have to get in the car. You have to get behind the wheel. Just play it safe, but just know this podcast isn't responsible for any life decisions outside of this show. Joey C, we're going to send him a farewell because this is probably, for all intents and purposes, the last time we'll probably cover Joey C. And it pains me to say that because he brought us a lot of laughs. He brought us a lot of tears of joy. And quite frankly, he's a very charismatic man who had his, whole future of this podcasting space in front of him. So to lose a soldier in the line of fucking battle here, I mean, is very, very, well, it's sad, quite frankly. So pour one up. Let's have a drink on Joey's behalf. This one's to you, Joey. Cheers. And there you have it. Joey C passing through to the other side.
My impersonation of Tukey. Oh, Tukey is my friend.
Give it a second.
I think of Tukey all the time. Tukey, I'm gonna start my show.
You say?
Gone too soon, man.
Oh, no more. Okay, that's enough. Well, I don't know if you all remember me when I was a little bitty baby. Hey, I'm little C. You guys remember me?
I wonder what caused the heart attack. Do you think it was the diabetes? Do you think it was the lack of nutrition in Joey's life? Or do you think it was Joey constantly firing back and getting so worked up over the littlest things? You know? People like myself or, Melton or a lot of these other people that poke fun at the expense of Joey C. This is where it could lead to death.
When I was a little bitty baby. How you doing tonight? Well, I thought I'd come and visit all my friends and see what's happening. But I'm all grown up now. I'm on my own. I no longer.
Lighters up for Joey C. Chris Mack saying.
My
R.I.P.
Joey C.
Harmble.
He raised me
Harmbay?
and taught me everything I know, so I'm ready for the real world.
Gotcha.
How's everybody doing tonight? President Pickle, he'll be on Saturday.
There you have it. I just wanted to do a little, candle light. I mean, even though there's no candles in this studio, but I want to do a little send off to Joey. Now, I have to mention, Joey, again, if this is somehow a fucking work, no one's, you know what I mean? Like, you've brought this upon yourself. I get it doing works and acting like you got beat up by Anthony Cumia and Cumia Country and the Black Eyes and all that other shit. I understand where that, how it could be funny when revealed that it actually, you probably just slipped on a fucking, bar of soap in your shower, Jad Zumach that is, fell on your eye and had a black eye. I can understand how that's funny. But when you're playing around and you're acting like you're on your deathbed, that's a whole nother level. So, Joey, if you are in fact dead, R.I.P., man. But if this is all a work, then, I hope you, burn in hell for eternity. And then we're just going to cover your, downfall for the rest of time. Rest assured of that. So, all right, there you have it. Joey C. Half right face. People are saying the voice is unfucking bearable. Fire, someone saying. All right, so Dr. Chow loves him some Joey C, man. That's funny, Dr. Chow, because we have a clip. We're going to keep it on these characters that we've kind of been experiencing over the last couple of days and couple of weeks. So we saw Joey C. His last really endeavor was to be a baby shark. Another filter. Mind you, that was a 57-year-old, 58-year-old grown man playing a cartoon character for zero money, which is very insane. At least when people played Bugs Bunny or like SpongeBob, they were getting paid millions. Joey was just willingly doing that on his free time because I don't know actually why. Maybe because he couldn't handle actually stepping in front of a camera and being ridiculed. But we're going to keep it on people as characters, and Dr. Chow's in the chat, so I think this would be a good time to turn our attention to Mere Musk number 39, the Uncle Julie interview.
If I could be a Jew right now, I would be a Jew.
This Uncle Julie character, I think probably right now has to be one of the best characters in this universe. Obviously, it's a parody of Shuli and the Uncle Rico show. And Uncle Julie shouts us out, which I think is pretty cool. We get some sort of a mention here. So here, let's take it over to the big screen and check out Mere Musk number 39. Whoops. Mere Musk number 39. Let's check it out. Now, I don't really have an issue with... I know people are kind of... they have mixed feelings when it comes to Dr. Chow or Uncle Julie, a.k.a., Rob Saul. I don't really have any issues with these two gentlemen, to be quite honest with you. I think Chow really is the anchor of this show. I think Chow is going places as a podcaster. I think Chow has a clear vision of where he wants to go. I used to be pretty harsh on Chow, but I see it now. I see the light that is Dr. Chow. So I could respect Chow, at least, having, put some sort of effort into his setup there, albeit it's bobbleheads and the Ray DeVito look, but we talked, and I get it now why that, background and backdrop is the way it is. So take Chow out of the equation, take Uncle Julie out of the equation. My biggest guy is, not biggest guy, but my biggest problem, I guess, on this show is this guy, Little fucking Mere. Now, I'll pop up in a chat, in a Mere Musk chat. I'll pop in, I'll say, what's up? What's going on? How's Mere doing? And I just get berated with just negativity and bad, Mere wants to fucking, slit my fucking throat. I mean, it's pretty insane. It's like, what did I do to you, little Mere? But that's all fine and good. You're allowed to hate me. You're allowed to want to slit my fucking throat, even though you can't because, be against the law, quite frankly. But I really think the anchor that's holding this podcast down is Little Mere. And I've made fun of this Little Mere before. It's really not that big of a deal. But you're about 40 episodes in now. And I made fun of him before because the way he comes into a show, the way they start shows reminds me of like, an old time fucking show you would watch, like a cartoon or like a Barney or a Sesame Street when they come in so animated. Hello, everybody. It's like the same thing that Little Mere does. I mean, it's just a cold intro. And anytime there's a cold intro, it's really never that good, especially when you have the name Little Mere, quite frankly. So let's check it out. Little Mere, let's just watch the intro, and then I believe they're going to win by 2 up. I forget what is said to be exact. So let's just check it out. It's a little small one I got here.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Mere Musk, episode 39.
So Mere is just, yet another one of these guys trying to bite off Tim Pool and trying to bite off Anthony Zenhauser, and they're wearing the snow caps indoors. It's just like, again, why are we wearing snow caps indoors? So in 2024, there's 2 things I've noticed thus far. One being people don't own mirrors. They've gone mirrorless in 2024. And another thing is a lot of people are wearing, much like Uncle Julie, albeit it a character. Right? I get that. He's playing a character here. But they're wearing these snow caps indoors, and that only leads me to believe that you actually have no heating system or no way to get warm in your home. So you're wearing, because I mean, this is just an insane look to wear indoors for anybody. You know what I mean? It's like, are we about to hit the slopes? Get it together, Mere.
Uncle Julie episode.
Hey, boys!
Hey, boys.
How you doing?
So there's Chow, there's Julie, and there's Mere about to give us the salute here.
Sir, it is an honor to meet you. L'chaim, whatever the fuck they say.
Shalom.
The whole country. Shalom.
Yeah, L'chaim.
Shalom, boys. Listen, I'm a fan of anybody that's willing to talk to me.
Well, it's an honor to have such an accomplished radio personality on the show. Yeah. We know your history a little bit.
And again, we'll watch this probably another time, not today. But Mere, there's two things he does on this show that really fucking grind my gears. One, he just buries himself in the alcohol. He can't just do, and now I drink on this show too, so you're like, well, what the fuck are you even saying? But again, when you get to the point of no return, much like Mr. Kill Everything, which we're going to get to in a little bit, and Little Mir, these guys get so obliterated, they aren't able to function anymore. They lose all motor skills. They lose sense of fucking time and space. And they think no one's watching. And they just act, I mean, for lack of a better term, retarded. So that's one thing that really grinds my gears. And another thing we watch, I mean, they do about an hour and a half show. And Mir takes about 8 bathroom breaks during the show. One can only, I mean, my mind, this is pure speculation. Of course, I have no actual evidence. So I want to preface that. But one can only speculate that, you know, why are you running to the bathroom 8 times unless you are actually hitting the slopes, the ski slopes, if you guys catch my drift. So there's a lot of weirdness going on here. We want answers, of course. And again, you know, he's got the British flag, which is insane. I mean, I've noticed this before, but it's really kind of starting to hit home here. It's like, so he's anti-American. He's anti-American. So there's that as well. So let's watch. Mir burying himself right off the bat. We're 40 seconds in, and he's face first in the alcohol. Now, I'd have to remind everybody that this show is a great show, or could be a great show. Chow, I'm speaking directly to you. Mir is the anchor that's tying you down. Does no prep. I know everyone likes to throw that word around, prep, show prep. Chow's doing all the show prep on this show. And if it wasn't for Chow, this show would have been over fucking 25 episodes ago. Let's keep watching.
You guys think I'm funny?
Yeah, of course. Of course you're funny. Yeah.
Funny for a Jew. So yeah, of course.
I worked for the #1 personality in radio for 15 years. And one time I bullied him into hesitantly telling me that he thought I was funny. So that's my credits.
Was that Rush Limbaugh or who'd you work for?
Limbaugh. Not Rush Limbaugh.
So as you can see, I mean, just off to a brilliant start here. The Uncle Julie character. All right, so we're not going to really break down Mir Musk today. That's not what I'm showing you here. What I want to show you is I believe they mentioned win by 2, and I forget the context they even bring it up in, but anytime there's a mention when it comes to this Uncle Julie, we're going to definitely check it out. As you know, I was brutally assaulted and practically jumped trying to film an Uncle Julie event. So here, let's just search the transcript. We'll go win by 2. And did they not bring it up here? They definitely bring it up. I just don't, where's the fucking code here? Fuck. Give me a second here. Did I spell win wrong? No, here we go. Win by us? Trying to search this transcript for win by 2. I just did this last night, so now it's not wanting to work, which is awesome. Now I'm failing in front of everybody miserably. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Maybe. We'll check it out.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is it.
So I heard there was some dude who got his ass beat for trying to film.
Win by 2.
What happened?
Amir loves that. Here, see his. Oh my God! Like he's salivating at the fact that I was beat up. So Mir, I mean, we could probably draw the conclusion that Mir wishes ill will on yours truly, the Blade. I mean, again, Mir, that's not very nice. You know, I'd make fun of you, but I wouldn't wish ill will on anyone. We just did a whole fucking ceremony on Joey C. I mean, possibly fake heart attack, which maybe the egg will be on my face later. I don't know. But so watch that again. Watch Mir. I mean, he's really chomping at the bit and loving the fact that I got my ass beat.
A dude who got his ass beat for trying to film.
Win by 2.
What happened with that, John, from win by 2?
You're not allowed to film in comedy clubs because, I give such a rare, hilarious set. And Bob Levy, no one wants to he doesn't want his crowd work getting out there because, it's not that he does the same exact jokes and picks out the same people every night to give the same jokes with crowd work. We just can't have it out there. Go to any comedy club and you can't do it. I mean, listen, have you ever gone to YouTube, Chow? Have you ever gone to YouTube and seen a concert and people filming it? It doesn't happen. It's illegal. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I know there's like this weird comedy.
Mir, one can only speculate that this is probably like a Yingling or some sort of weird beer you got there. But again, every time, I freeze a frame here, mind you, this is about an hour and 12 minute podcast. You can only imagine how drunk Mir got on this show. So, but you heard Uncle Julie there. Pretty much dropping fucking wisdom bombs. And it's pretty much making the same argument that I was. Obviously, I'm not going to get into it because we went into it all last week. So, but essentially, yeah, there's concerts and there's all this other shit out there you're allowed to film in real life. But when it comes to comics and their crowd work and their bullshit jokes, it's a fucking crime. So a lot of wisdom being dropped there by Uncle Julie. And again, great work by Dr. Chow. Little Mir, I don't know if podcasting is necessarily the way for you. Maybe a 12-step program would be more suiting and more fittable for what you're trying to go for here. Essentially that's, what it's screaming to me. So, and where's Brooklyn at? Can you point to where Brooklyn at is on a map? I thought that was hilarious. We covered Little Mir, didn't know where Brooklyn was, the borough, one of the 5 boroughs of New York. Didn't know where Brooklyn was. So there you have it. Uncle Julie giving a little dropping wisdom bombs on the whole filming situation by Dose. So I wanted to start with that, and we have a couple other small ones, I believe here. I want to check some things out real quick. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see. Looks like SteelToe did. Oh, no, they're still 30 away, but they're probably going to hit $30. So let's check it out. Let's check out with the chat. How are you guys feeling today? Stephen M. blocked by Shawnetta. Shawnetta says, I couldn't even rate these 3 from bad to worse. Well, look, I want to preface this by saying Dr. Chow is really the heartbeat of that show. And, if he had a better co-host, I guess is what I'm trying to say, you would see Dr. Chow's talent, thrive and just break through. So if I was rating them from bad to worse, I'd probably go, well, if I'm rating worse to good, I would probably go, obviously Mir would be number 3, Julie would be 2, and Chow would be at the top, in my opinion. I love Chow, says LL Cooley. I love how Chow is treating the character as if he is real. Well, he's really committing to the bit, and one can appreciate that. One can definitely appreciate that. Dr. Chow says, John, I think Mir will win you over. I don't know, Chow. I think it's too little too late. I think it's too little too late. Look, really what did it for me is when, again, he didn't know where Brooklyn was on a map. And then at that point, I was like, wow, this dude he's not just dumb. He's probably actual tard. And then I watched your guys' show. By the way, they did an interview with Big Gay Lion, Mark Harley, Brendan Schaub's old handler last night. And it went as you would expect, pretty stale when it came to Mir. But Chow, you could tell, Chow, you did your research. You knew what you were talking about. You knew the questions you wanted to ask. And then Mir was going off into drunken fucking tirades. And I was cringing. You know what I mean? I was left in a state of cringe. And that's never good as an audience member. When Chow spoke, I was like, wow, this is, you know what I mean? This is like the best thing ever. Well, maybe not the best thing ever, but it was good, is what I'm trying to get at. When Mir was speaking, I wanted to jump out of my fucking skin and light my fucking meat suit. Burn it. I wanted to burn it. It was horrible. Go back and watch it. I suggest everyone go watch it. The Hello Mark Arley interview from last night, obviously after the show was done. And just fast forward to the last 25, 30 minutes of that show, and it's astonishing. We might break that down on Saturday's show. again, Chow, I think, Chow, you do have potential, and I do think, you do a lot of good work. But again, sometimes, just like with me and Softcast, sometimes you just got to rip that Band-Aid off and just fucking spread those wings. You know what I mean? So that is really my 2 cents. I tried to stay on topic, and you did a good job of that, says Chow. Dr. Chow, Mega G, is in the chat now. He says, I tried to stay on topic, and you did a great job of that. You knew what you wanted to ask. You knew what direction you wanted to take the interview. But, you can't help your co-host when he's fucking getting bombed. You know what I mean? Drinking a pint of God knows what, Patron or Bacardi or whatever the fuck, anti-Americans drink. You can't control that. You can only control what you do, and you did a great job, I believe, Go back and watch that interview. It's fascinating. The last 25 minutes will have you fucking, your mind blown. I want to keep it moving, though. Clubfoot Kodak Carl, a.k.a. KKK, is what we like to call him around here, says, hey, Dayla, do you think now Joey C is in a coma that he's more self-aware now? And he laughs. I don't even know if that's the case. I ate too much French toast. I feel like throwing up, says Sam V. Well, please don't throw up, Sam V. And if you do, just don't let us know about it, God forbid. You know what I mean? I don't want to get sick. Focus CDS says, right, if dude got beat up, that's too much. I agree. Mir made Mersh look good. How? Again, Ella, I'd have to go back and watch that interview, but towards the end of that Mersh interview that they did, I went in how I feel about Mersh. You know what I mean? He's a buffoon. He's a clown. He doesn't really put any effort into anything he does. He's just like another Aaron who begs for money and delivers you right-wing talking points or black pill talking points probably now. But leaving that interview, yeah, I did. I felt like I was Team Mersh, and that's never a good feeling when your host and co-host, break you to the side of the person you despise or you make fun of. You know what I mean? When you're sitting there sympathizing with the person that you don't like or you hate, like imagine like watching an interview about Aaron from SteelToe or name your fucking, biggest enemy. And you're sitting there like, starting to agree with them and side with them. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And that's what they did. I wanted to break down that episode on the comeback show, but I just felt like, it was 3 months past due. But I mean, yeah, essentially that's how I felt too, man. I was like, holy fucking shit. Like here I am actually agreeing with Mersh. And that's why I think Mir isn't cut out for this sort of thing. Prove me wrong, Mir. Prove me wrong. I don't think you can. All right, so I want to jump on to the Tony Mazur bandwagon because Tony Mazur, obviously we know, one of probably our big three bores. Obviously, I mentioned at the top of the show, you have Pat Dixon. He's probably the third if I had to rank him. Then you have Tony Mazur at number 2, and then you have Earl Skakel at number 1. But Tony Mazur, again, like I mentioned, he's got a new studio look, which we're going to get into now. So Tony does this podcast, or, he calls it it's not a podcast. It's more of a check-in, a diary, a digital diary of sorts that he just broadcasts. It's very strange. Tony's a guy who comes from radio, but hasn't quite figured out the internet. And he's like on the cusp of being a boomer, but he's not really a boomer. He's very dry. He doesn't really he doesn't bring anything to the table. I mean, when you think of Tony Mazur, and this is what is astonishing about Chad Zumach, is like Chad is like sometimes balls to the wall, letting it all fucking fly. Doesn't care about what is said, doesn't really even think about what he says sometimes. He just acts. He just does. But to willingly bring on Tony as your second mic for your, one of your shows you do once a week, that only could leave me scratching my head as to why. And again, it's much like Chow and Mir. It's like, Chad, just rip off the Band-Aid. You'd be so much better off doing a show without Mazur. Mazur weighs you down, quite frankly. There's nothing that Mazur could say where I would be interested in, or he would, even if Mazur was able to guide me on how to make $10 million, I probably would fall asleep before he got to the last step. So it's like, really, What is it that Tony Mazur brings to the table? So the thing we've been following, and I have to preface this and remind everybody, the thing we've been following with Tony Mazur and why I've been covering this guy for so long, first of all, he's a fucking a cringe lord. I mean, is an understatement. But the second thing is, like I said, in July, August, he made the claim that he's going to be moving into a new house and he's going to be building this studio. And I like to watch people's when they upgrade their gear or they get new equipment and then they try to put it to the test and it ultimately fails. That's time and time and time again. I like to watch that sort of thing. And I like to watch their idea of what a good studio or what a studio, I mean, it doesn't have to be a good studio, what a studio in their mind is. So we're going to get to that here in just a second. Before we do, we have a Check Your Brain podcast with Ken Mosca. So now, I really wanted to get away on today's episode from the whole filming comics thing. Mind you, we're still going to film all the comics, so that's not going anywhere. But I wanted to get away from that sort of thing. It was just, you know what I mean? Became too repetitive within a week. I mean, as most things do. So I like to keep it fresh around here. And I tuned into the Check Your Brain podcast, all 47 minutes and 29 seconds of it. Almost fell asleep, mind you. So I want to give everyone a fair warning here. If you are driving or operating any sort of heavy machinery, it'd probably be your best bet to just step away or turn the show off and then tune back in maybe in 30 minutes, because I don't want anyone falling asleep and me being held responsible for or not me, but Tony putting you to sleep. So we have Tony here on the Check Your Brain podcast, and he's going to have Ken Mosca, which this guy is, I believe, from my neck of the woods, somewhere in New Jersey. And Ken is the guy who is like one of Chad's biggest fans. He supports Chad and he gives Chad money, pays him on Patreon, and he's a huge Chad fucking simp. Simp! So this is the guy, Ken Mosca, who also booked the AC event coming up at the Tennessee Beer Hall, which is going to be featuring Tony Mazur, Chad Zumach, Gino Bisconti, and Dylan Mulvaney. Keanu Thompson, of course. So Ken is the guy who set this all up, and Tony had Ken on the podcast. It was mainly nonsense for, I'd say, this podcast is about 47 minutes. 46 minutes of this podcast was complete and utter nonsense, and yeah, I mean, it just, goes to show you by his view count. Now, I'm not one to be like, oh, your views are so low, but it's like, sometimes I am. Sometimes I do stoop that low, especially when you're trying to be a guy and you're trying to, you know what I mean? It's like 16 views. I mean, it's not even pathetic. That's a disrespect to pathetic. You know what I mean? And again, I don't even like going there at times with people's views, but when you've been doing this and you've been in radio and you've latched on to Chad Zumach, who, doesn't do horrible numbers, doesn't do, astronomical numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but he doesn't do horrible numbers. And you only can seem to muster up 16 views? There's a disconnect, obviously. And the disconnect is the audience is disconnected from anything you do because you're a fucking bore. So let's check it out. This is the Check Your Brain podcast featuring Ken Mosca. So I want to play a little bit of this intro, and then we have a clip, because Ken Mosca, if anyone was who's going to AC, by the way? I'm curious to know, because I wasn't planning on going to this AC thing. Like, I really have no interest. I was going to go in August, and again, I've said this before, but the more I thought about it, I'm just like, is it really worth it? There's no event going on, so it'd be just me and a bunch of guys playing poker, which it's like, I'll just play FanDuel at that point. I don't need to yuck it up with these guys, nor do I want to make friends with any of these guys, about Patrick Melton, Kevin Brennan, Jim Florentine, at the time, Bob Levy. It really doesn't really interest me all that much. But now that there's an event, I'm sort of interested in going to this AC thing, simply just to see this comedy show, and I may or may not show up with 17 recording devices and probably get beat up and jumped again and come back and tell you guys the tale. But who's actually going to this AC thing? Is anyone interested in going to this AC thing? Does anyone care about this AC thing? Gonna F everyone up, says Stephen M. James McKeon says, watching Kevin Gamble. I'm in Pleasantville that weekend. Maybe, says Mario Lopez. I'm going with 10 blacks. Black people or blacks, black and milds? Coltsy says, yo, what's up, Coltsy? Got my ticket, says Dr. Chow. You ain't going. You ain't going. James McKeon says, there are a bunch of Newports loitering between Atlantic and Pacific Ave by the liquor store. Yeah, be careful. Make sure to bring, if you are going to ACI, let me just preface by saying this. If you are going to show up in Atlantic City, make sure to have some Narcan on hand. You never know, there's fentanyl needles on the ground. You step on one of those things and all of a sudden you're like Joey C in a coma. And it's just like you just wanted to go there to have fun and maybe fucking sniff Patrick Melton's farts. Like, there's no need to wind up in a coma. So just bring some Narcan and be smart. I'm not going, correct. Okay. Colt, I can't. Sheila Aliens says, Ricada is lies. See if he is drunk. I guess that's Nick Ricada. De La says, valid point, decline host. Jeff says, Blade tipping his hand again. Yeah, probably a rookie mistake there, Jeff. Thank you. Sometimes I just, talk too much and talk myself into a jam. Mountain is boxing, KB and AC. I don't know about that. I said this on the show when we came back, Blade Surrection. I was like, probably most of all this drama that we're watching now is just to drum up some sort of interest for this whole AC non-event. Well, not non-event, because, it's an MLC meetup, but Chad's doing an event. So that's the strange thing here. Guys banging on motel doors at 4 a.m. if you stay off the strip trying to come into the room, says James. Hookers are cheap, just saying. Coltsy says, sure you can, bud. Where's Ricada live at, Sheila Aliens? All right, so let's check this out. So I just wanted to kind of see if anyone who watches this show is going to be there. I'm still undecided. I don't know. Chances are I'm probably not going. Chances are I'm probably not going to go. It's the Super Bowl. I'm usually not even around that weekend anyway. So we'll see. If we do go, there will be a story. The story will be probably me being jumped again. All right, so let's check that. This is Tony Mazer. I forget what he says on this intro. Let me pull up my clips here. Let's see. Where's the check your brain? I think it's just the intro in like 41 minutes, I want to say. Let's just play it. Tony Mazer.
And what's happening, everybody? Welcome on into the Check Your Brain podcast with me, Tony Mazer. And I do not have the mustache today, although it's going to look interesting because if you watch tomorrow's episode, I do have a mustache. So it's not fake. It's just a little bit out of order. Today.
So Tony finally, we made fun of Tony for having like the 1980s porn stash. In fact, he cut the mustache off. Now, it's like, Tony, even though the mustache didn't work, I would probably still suggest the stash only because now you look like a 16-year-old little boy. And you sound like one, too. So maybe the shaving off the mustache wasn't a great idea. I know in Tony's brain, there's not a lot of good ideas that flow through Tony's fucking brain. And it's kind of ironic because his podcast is called Check Your Brain Podcast. So maybe you should take your own advice and check your fucking brain, Mazer. You look like a child. This is despicable. There should be like an age restriction warning on your fucking video. Imagine the creeps that check out Tony Mazer's video. The 16 viewers aren't fans, by the way. There's 16 fucking creeps who just kind of hit on Mazer and kind of, fantasize about Mazer because he looks like a boy. It's gross, I know, but it's probably the truth. Let's listen to Mazer.
Today is what I believe Dave Portnoy would call an emergency podcast that he would do on Barstool. But we're just going to do that, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with my pal Ken Mosca here. First of all, if you were checking this out for free, I do a podcast on my Patreon at patreon.com/Tony.
So, I'm not going to let him plug.
Usual free weekly podcast out on the major podcast platforms every. It's not. It's just going to go up online, putting something out.
We're not letting them plug.
Video.
Sorry about that.
And we're going to talk some football today because we did have a football podcast for a little bit. We don't really do that anymore. So
so they used to do this football podcast in the beginning of this year's NFL season, the 2023-2024 season. Tony, Chad, Ken, And they would all sit down and discuss their fucking, their teams and what guys are going to do good this week. And then they'll give you their predictions. And none of them, none of those predictions or none of these guys actually made good predictions. They would all be losing predictions. So they gave the podcast up. I mean, this football podcast, I think, lasted for like maybe 5 weeks. And then it completely collapsed. And I blame Mazer. I do solely put the responsibility of your football podcast. I put that all on Tony Mazer. I really do. You sad excuse for a human being. Let's continue.
I'm itching. I don't want to just talk about politics and pop culture and all this other stuff going on in the news. And I'm like, every so often, I just want to just sit back and just talk some sports. And that's why I decided on a whim on this Sunday night, as we're recording this, going to go.
I just mentioned Tony's like good ideas that flow through his head. Like, this is like one of his good ideas in his head, in his brain, is he doesn't want to stick to politics. He doesn't want to stick to, pop culture, entertainment, but it's a good idea to do an emergency podcast of the NFL playoffs with his good pal, as he says, Ken Mosca.
Go out on Monday talking to my pal Ken Mosca, who is a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, and I'm telling Ken, wherever he is, stay away from sharp objects, stay away from large bridges, anything like.
All right. So we're gonna fast forward here because Ken Mosca has a message to anyone going to AC. If you are going to be in AC that weekend, Ken has a message for you. But also to keep in mind, take a little mental image of this background here, of what Tony's got going on in his background. And just keep that in mind, because this next clip we're going to get to, the next clip I play, not this one coming up, but 2 clips from now, Tony's going to be in his new studio. So I believe this clip is at 41 minutes in. This is Ken Mosca's big fucking warning. Now, mind you, this is, I believe, right after I had filmed, or tried to film, I should say, the Dojo of Comedy. So now everyone's taking it upon themselves to be, macho men, and they're issuing warnings as if they're fucking, insert mobster name here. They're all trying to be like Tony fucking Soprano. So listen to Ken. If you were thinking about going and thinking about recording, think twice. Ken Mosca's on the case here. Check it out.
Correct. You got to do all this. You almost have to strip a team down to the studs. And there's a lot of talent on this Cowboy team that you can't really, and it's going to piss Jim Hinkie 70.
Now that Belichick's available, very, very good. Herbert's numbers were good too.
Yeah. Well, that's we're gonna have quite a week. I'm sure I'll be texting you back and forth.
Hold on, really quick. Let's check back in with the chat. I just saw LL Cooley, I think, was a member for 10 fucking months. Almost a year. That's pretty remarkable. LL says, will you be going to Hackamania in June in Vegas? I'm going. No. I will not be going to the Patrick Melton event. You know what I mean? It's just, maybe something changes from now to then, LL. But I have no interest in flying across the country to watch an event. If I were to venture to guess, I'd say there's probably going to be about 100 people there, and that's being generous. I mean, maybe more, because Carl, I think, is going to be there. Carl from WATP, of course. And he has the capability of drawing some people out to events. But for me, man, I don't know. I have no interest in going to a Patrick Melton and giving Patrick Melton my money. You know what I mean? So as of right now, no, I will not be going, but that could change potentially. But I'm going to lean on the side of no. For all intents and purposes, I will not be going. But that's cool. I mean, definitely report back on, the event and who performs there and how it goes. Maybe it's a success. I mean, I know Melton is, for all the shit I talk on Melton, I know he is good at doing these sort of things, even though there's been some discrepancies in the past about his Edinburgh trip. And, I don't know. I know Carl is good at putting on these sort of events. So for whatever that's worth, it should be interesting. I mean, you'll definitely get your money's worth, but for me, I have no interest. At this moment in time, I should say. What's up, Chris? Chris checking in. What's up? Dropping the Blade Army. Is that the 8.7 logo? I can't quite tell. Oh, no, he says vote 2. Chris checking in from work. What's up, Chris? How you doing today, man? All right, let's continue. All right, so Ken Mosca has a message for anyone going to film this or in 2 weeks, this Super Bowl weekend.
And I will be seeing you very soon here in Atlantic City.
Wait, Doodle just said something pretty hilarious here. And this is kind of where I'm at with it, I think. Doodle says, Fatty Patty Fest? I'd rather drop dead. And that's kind of my stance on it as well. At this moment in time. If I go, I will be going for nefarious reasons. I won't be going there just to watch. I'm not a Melton guy. You know what I mean? So, or WATP for that matter. So to drop that money and hotels and flights and all that just for what? To film? It's like, there'll probably be footage that makes its way out of the event. I have no interest. I have zero interest at this moment in time. And Doodle kind of really is picking up what I'm putting down. It's funny stuff. Let's continue. Ken Mosca.
Have any plugs for us, Ken?
The plug I will say is this: I really think the show in Atlantic City
Here we go.
is going to be a lot of fun. And here's the truth, Tony, because I haven't tweeted about this. I had bullshit.
Here's the truth.
You know, and
truth
things.
Bombs.
Chad's a friend of mine. I don't run away from my friends. Gino is a friend of mine. I don't run away from my friends. I've known Gino a lot of years. I've known Gino's family longer than I've known Gino. Okay, you know they're big boys. They can take care of themselves. They don't need me to carry their water. They don't need anyone else to carry their water. What they do is what they do. You know, whatever hate they get, okay. I mean, I think they wear it sometimes as a badge of honor. But you know, Chad called me and said, "Hey, look, I'm coming up for the Super Bowl. We're going to get together and have fun, but I want to do a show." And I said,
and this is funny too. Like, this is almost what I said to Chad over the summer. Going into the first AC event, I'm like, Chad, if you do decide to come up, because at the time he had just split from MLC, and I was like, Chad, if you do decide to come up, like, let's put on a show instead of just going just to, you know, meet people and that's it, play poker and that's it. Let's give the people something to remember. Look, I come from the music side of things, and when I'm live, like, I would never think, or I would never fathom in my right sober mind, even if I'm completely fucked up and obliterated, I would never think of just, hey, let's get the guys together and let's just meet at Harris Casino and we'll just gamble. Like, I'm like, no, like, people are spending their hard-earned dollar to go out and to come see you. The least you could do is put on a performance for an hour and then play poker. So that's what really bothered me about the first AC trip. Now, it sounds like Chad is taking some of what I said and applying that, which I do applaud, because at least Chad is attempting to throw, you know, some sort of something in AC, albeit it might be 80 fucking, in an 80 seat or whatever. That's fine and good. The point is, at least there's going to be something to do that weekend instead of just waiting around to see if Kevin Brennan, you know, gives you a high five. You know what I mean? I do like MLC, I do like Brennan, but it's like, you know, there comes a point in time where it's like, you have to say this sort of shit, because it's like, you know, if not, they're just going to never put on events and you'll just keep spending your money and fucking nothing will ever happen. Nothing will ever come of it. So it sounds like Chad was inspired, which I don't want to take full credit. I'll take partial credit on this comedy non-event or event, whatever, which way you want to look at it, taking place Super Bowl weekend.
Look, if you want to do a show, I'll get you the venue. I have two of them in mind, but I'll get you the venue. One is in Atlantic City, one is not, because I'd rather be in Atlantic City. Then, look, my friend owns the Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall. People hear beer hall and they think it's a shot in a beer place. No, it's a really nice place. It's got at least 80 seats in it. Some people are saying, well, I've got 80 seats in it. That's just around the stage. They got, you know, plenty more. That place is a lot of fun to go to. Atlantic.
It's like, where else would the seats be? So he's like, oh, people are making fun of that. It's an 80 seater, and all the 80 seats are around the stage. And where else are these seats? Tennessee, here, well, real quick, because I think I know this. I think I've actually played at this place at one point or another, but I just want to search this for myself. Maybe we'll call them Tennessee. What do you say? Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall. Atlantic City. I just want to see what the inside actually looks like here. We'll go to images. So there's not really any good pictures of what the inside looks like. Here, this might be the closest thing, but I don't even know if this is the place. I mean, this looks like, you know, a knockoff of what Stoney's was. And we all made fun of Stoney's, right? So, look, if there's 30 people at this event, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. That's funny. There's the flyer. Who's promoting this flyer? Maybe it's the actual website. I don't know. So Ken Mosca is making the claim here that even though everyone's talking about there's only, 80 seats available or 80 seats at this venue, there's actually more seats. So, keep buying those tickets. Again, this is almost like a double-edged sword because I do applaud Chad for at least trying to throw an event. But again, it's like, it's the Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall right off the boardwalk. I mean, there's like fucking crack dealers and fucking fentanyl dealers right outside. It's not the greatest of place, especially in the wintertime. AC, and I've said this before, AC in general isn't a place you even want to be at if you're spending money or going on vacation. It's not the place it used to be back in the fucking, 50s and 60s. AC is a dump. It's a mini ghetto. It's practically, if people are from this area, it's like Camden or Kensington. Those places are actually worse, but AC, is following suit. The only reason why AC isn't fully blown hood yet is because it has the casinos to kind of make some sort of profit. But take away the casinos, AC is no different. So it is a dangerous place, to say the least. But look, keep listening to Ken, because he's going to have a message, and I want you guys to remember, if you're going there, you're going to have to deal with the likes of Ken Mosca.
City these days, is not the greatest spot at certain times.
I just said
they do have great security there. So anyone thinks they're coming to punch somebody in the face or whatever, that's not going to happen. The security they have there. Can you imagine if someone's going to punch someone because of all this Dabbleverse stuff? They're gonna.
Ken's like such a quintessential boomer too. It's like no one is going there to actually start fights, Ken. Maybe someone is. I don't know, but I'd venture to guess people that are going there are just looking to do one thing, and that's to film. No one's looking there to fight. I'm like, we talk shit on Gino, or we'll talk shit on Chad, or Dylan Mulvaney, or Anthony Mazer. That doesn't mean I want to fucking fight them. You understand what I'm saying? You old fucking out of it boomer.
I get punched. And they got some pretty big bodyguards there that they're not going to use a door to throw you out. Maybe through the window to throw you out, but they don't.
Stuttering
mess around.
John be here.
I couldn't care less. I have nothing against Stuttering John. I have nothing against him. I think those years when Howard, when he's doing those goofy interviews, I thought they were funny. I thought he was ballsy. I got nothing against him. I don't. When I say I don't care, it's not like I don't care about him or what. It just doesn't register to me. I know that a few of us are getting together for dinner, which
cute.
Is going to be a place that's going to be unknown for many. But we're going to get together for
Cafe.
dinner.
I'm doxing us.
Yes.
It's the Rainforest Cafe right on the board.
There you go. That's right. They have great hot dogs. I know there's a
pay no mind to Tony. Tony thinks he's a brilliant fucking hilarious person. Makes a Rainforest Cafe joke, which gets no laughs from Tony or the 16 viewers that viewed this video.
I know there's a spot you and your bride would like to go to, which we still have to work out. It's where my wife is from. I think you know that.
Yes.
So I think she'd be excited about doing that. But that's up to you guys. I know you're going to be doing some driving.
Let's
things
get to
like
it, Ken.
that.
Get to it, Ken.
But it's not, it's not far from here and stuff. But I know that's stuff for us to work out, and we will. But that's the show I'm plugging. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really do. I have, it's going to be fun. And like I said, anyone going there, I think they're going to cause trouble.
Yes.
Anyone that tries to even remotely, film something, from what I'm being told, if a bouncer sees anybody, sees a phone out, whatever.
Oh, like what
taping,
Vince the lawyer
audio. Did. I'm telling you, that person's hands are going to get broken.
Wow. If a bouncer even, sees a phone from the glimpse of his eye, you don't even have to be filming. If he just sees your phone, He's going to break your fucking hands, is the claim Ken Mosca is making. So now it's like, who's looking to start trouble? Is it us? Or is it you, Mosca? Tony Soprano? You fucking bum. Get out of here. And no one's breaking anyone's hands. I encourage filming at will. Film all these guys. They're trying to hide something from us. I don't know what that something is. My guess would be they're embarrassing 10 minutes of comedy. And that's why we want to film. And we will film. Now, this podcast isn't responsible if someone's hands actually do get broken. I want to preface by saying that. But, when you say, and again, I've always kind of been like this all my life, and maybe that's, the trouble I have to face on my own. But when you tell me I can't do something, I only want to do it more. You understand what I'm saying? It's like curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat. Maybe it'll kill me one day. I don't know. But again, you guys aren't doing anything so profound, it can't be on film. Now, I'm not suggesting I'm even going to be there. And I don't want people to put in the chat that they're going to be there and they're going to film. But if you are there, that sounds like a challenge to me. And Mosca, we don't back down from challenges around here. Ken.
The phone's going to get broken. I'm not going to be the one doing it. I'm going to be there having a beer. And by the way, that's if I show up. I told Gino, do I have to show up to this? No.
So you booked the event. You're thinking about not even showing, but you're telling everyone else how fun it's going to be. I mean, that's pretty fucking strange.
Well, so I still have to get a picture with the Burt Park statue.
Oh, Tony Mazer. Damn, that guy is good. Look at him go. Fucking loser, dude. You stink. I mean, really, comedy, give it up. It's done. It's over. Pack your bags and go home, Mazer. You're not funny.
That's out in front of the Sheraton. So that's out in front of the Sheraton, and you will be able to do that. But that's
so that's pretty much where it stops right there. Ken Mosca's big threat. If you guys are going there to film, not even film, if you go there with your phones, your hands will be broken. So rest assured, don't even bring your phones if you plan on going to this event. I want to keep it Tony Mazer, Chad Zumach related. We have a couple cringe clips from one Anthony Mazer. Again, Tony, if you're receiving this message, listen to my words. Give up podcasting. Give it up. You're not good at it. I mean, seriously. You're not fun. And comedy, too. Lump that in there. It's done, Mazer. It's done. Your biggest credit is being on Mondays with Mazer. That is your biggest credit. That will always be your biggest credit. You will never go anywhere else, no matter how much dick you suck from Anthony Cumia or Chad Zumach or Gino Bisconti or Dylan Mulvaney, Keanu Thompson. It doesn't matter. It's done for you. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I'm trying to help you out. You'll look at this as a slight or as a it's not a diss. It's just do something else, man. Invest in fucking Ethereum or Bitcoin. Talk to Dr. Chow. Maybe you two could fucking, be financial experts on the dark web or something. I don't know. Do anything else. Podcasting ain't it, homie. Let's keep it Mondays with Mazer related here. This fucking bore. I have a couple clips I want to play. Let's give it a quick refresh so it doesn't skip. This is Chad and Tony. Check it out. Woo! Now, again, our problem here isn't with Chad. It is all with Tony.
Monday, January 22nd. I'm the Mud Shark. Joining me is Tony Mazer from Mazer Studio.
Yes, Mazer Studios. With my on-air light sign that still looks like shit.
Mazer Studio. So we just watched Tony from a week ago. I mean, he was in the same setup, but now he is at it into his studio. And, just a basic streamers on-air sign. And he's going to call it a studio. So this was Tony Mazer's idea of a studio. I mean, he's gone full Anthony Cumia. He's gone full Kumia. He's out at the bookshelf that Kumia has. He's out at the bobbleheads that Kumia, I think, has. He's got a picture frame of him and his wife back here. Gross. But this is Mazer's big fucking studio. He's got a picture of what appears to be fucking. I don't even know who that is. Someone knows who that is. It's an actor. I was gonna say his dad, but definitely not his father. But that's stacked up on what appears to be like old PS4 games. I mean, again, this is just purely pathetic. I mean, he's got all these books, much like Kumia, and probably never has read one single chapter of any of these books. But yet you have a bookcase. This is Mazer Studio. The on-air sign. That's what, in these guys' head, that's what solidifies them. That's what takes them over the top from being just an average guy, fucking doing a live stream from their back balcony. And that's what really pushes them. If I get an on-air sign, I'm going to be like Howard fucking Stern. You're not going to be Howard Stern. You know what I mean? That ship has sailed, Mazer. Give it up. Give it up. I love how shameless Chad is, by the way. Like, you take a picture of, or you take a look at Mazer's fucking StreamYard little banner here, his lower third. So you're instructed to put your name on StreamYard, and then you could put like a little saying or a plug. And of course, Mazer, the fucking cuck bitch that he is, puts Tony Mazer, host of Check Your Brain podcast, that gets 2 views. Chad, at least, is pretty fucking shameless, which I can appreciate. He goes, The Mud Shark, Venmo, at Chad Zumock. So I could respect that. Tony Mazer, I can't respect anything you do, you fucking clown. Let's keep watching.
Hi, everybody.
Anthony Cumia has an on-air light now on his new studio.
Right, full Kumia.
He does.
He's gone full Kumia.
He's got a bookshelf behind him, just like me.
Yes, you've gone full Kumia.
Uzis and Mac 15s in there.
No, I have books about, let's see. I have the Jim Brewer book. I have books on I have like 18 books on the Cleveland Cavaliers behind me.
Why?
Really?
Oh, why? Why do you have 18 books about the Cleveland Cavaliers? I like the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't have one book of the Philadelphia 76ers. Why do you have 18 about the Cleveland Cavaliers? That's weird.
Yeah.
Why do you have so many books about the Cavs?
Good question, Chad.
I don't know. I got vintage Cavs, classic Cavs, something about LeBron. I don't know. These are also my wife's books and my.
I'm coming.
Oh, they're your wife's books. When in doubt. I mean, we've seen this maneuver time and time again. When in doubt, when the going gets hard, blame the old ball and chain. It's like, what a cop-out. You pussy. You're a big fucking twat, you motherfucker.
Home.
You're not even man enough to say, yeah, these are my books. I don't read them. I bought them because I thought I was going to read one day, but I'll never actually get to that. So, and I've gone full Kumi. You can't even say that. You got to put the blame on your fucking wife, you pathetic fucking dweeb.
I'm coming home.
No, you're going to Atlantic City.
I am. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from, what, today? No, wait.
This weekend. So about 2.5 weeks now.
2.5 weeks, we will be
All right, so that's Tony's big new studio there. Look, he's getting ready for, what's this fucking piece of wisdom he's about to drop on us? Look at him think. What's he going to say?
AC.
Oh, he's just itching his eye.
We're going to be...
He even itches his fucking eye weird. I've never seen anyone itch their eye in this manner.
2.5 weeks now.
2.5 weeks, we will be in AC.
Like, what the fuck is going on with you, dude?
We're going to be there. Tony's going to be there.
Insane.
Bill from Jersey's going to be there. He's doing an autograph.
All right, cool. So the big AC event, we all know. Let's go to 23-minute. Chad brings me... Oh, Chad, I forgot about this. Chad brings me up. Let's go to 23 minutes, and let's see what's happening here. I forget what is even happening on this show. Trust me, sometimes I tune out, and I don't even know how I get to write some of these time codes, because half the time I'm just like not even paying attention. But let's see what they have to say about little old me.
That's not a douchebag.
Yeah.
It's kind of
That's
wrong.
like a douchebag name.
The other guy was mad at you the other night. The guy from the cellar.
Oh, yeah, that guy didn't like me.
Yeah, what'd you say to him?
I was just joking. I was like, can I tape the whole time?
Oh.
And he got furious with me.
Guys,
Bobby Kelly.
What's up everybody wanting to tape like stand-up shows now? Like everyone's like getting in trouble, like that Win by 2 guy. Like
That's me.
thrown out of Poughkeepsie because he
No, it wasn't Poughkeepsie. It was the Dojo of Comedy in Morris Plains, New Jersey. But whatever. I mean, an old Freudian slip.
getting in trouble, like that win by 2 guy, like got thrown out of Poughkeepsie because he wanted to tape like why does everybody want to tape the show so bad now?
So Chad asked the question, what's with all the fuss? Why does everyone want to tape? And we've went through it before, but we want to expose how fucking shitty these comics actually are, especially in this universe. You know what I mean? We'll get to the bigger fish eventually. You know what I mean? I'm still young. There's no knock on fucking wood somewhere. I'll be going for a long time. So we'll get to the bigger fish, the Joe Rogans, the Shane Gillises. We'll film them all, really. Now we're starting with the universe we currently exist in, and we're here to show everybody how bad they actually are. These people that exist that still quote unquote do comedy. That's why we want to film. We want to show everybody how bad you guys actually are. Chad, to answer your question, but let's see. Tony has an answer for everything. I hate one of these guys. He's like a mini me Patrick Melton. Like Melton, one of the biggest things I hate about Patrick Melton is how he has to know everything about everything. You know, he's a fucking know-it-all. I hate those motherfuckers. I always hated those motherfuckers, even in high school and in elementary school and just growing up. Just somebody like always has to one-up you. You know what I mean? And it's like what they're saying is not even true, but they have to do it because it's like their brand to just one-up you and to know I hate these motherfuckers. Tony, and I forgot, this is one of Tony's biggest traits. He's a know-it-all. But really, he knows nothing.
Get it. And from what I heard was there was one of those weird portions of the show where it's not really, there's like not a lot of laughs. And so
it was and this is the problem with know-it-all, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It wasn't a weird part of the show. It was the beginning of the show. I mean, maybe that's weird to some people, but it was the beginning of the show where Zenhauser tried he tried the same joke 3 times. So he didn't try 3 separate jokes. He tried the same joke 3 times. And that's what I was going there to film. The shittiness. So, Tony, what is it that I'm trying to do? Speak for me, Tony.
Show's so bad now. I don't get it.
And from what I heard was there was one of those weird portions of the show where it's not
Uppers
really
are the problem.
There's not a lot of laughs, and so you're videoing a thing out of context. You're saying, well, see.
Hold on, real quick. LL coming in for 999 says, come to Vegas in June for Hackamania. I'll be your muscle. I'm a god among men. Mortals around me live only because I allow it.
Man, money's just fake, man.
Right. Thank you for that, LL. We'll consider it. I don't know. As of right now, I'm not sure. Probably, I'm leaning towards no, but maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you for the $9.99, Ella. We do appreciate that, man. Brock Lee coming in for 5. Says it's been confirmed that this VIP dinner in AC will be at Chef Vola. Hi, Ken, says Brock Lee. Is that really the fucking case? Chef? Or is that Chef Vola? Let's see what this place is sitting for. Thank you for the 5, Brock. Brock, look, I don't want to like put you on blast or anything, and I don't think I am putting you on blast because this has been already outed as a thing on a show, but now maybe this won't actually come to fruition now that Joey C's in a coma, fucking, unaware and unconscious of the outside world, but look, don't let any of these motherfuckers guilt you into paying for their expenses. They're grown men. Let them figure out a way to get to AC. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be your responsibility. I wanted to break Joey C. I wanted to break down Joey C. on Stuttering John the last, time they were both cordial to one another, which was, I think, January 12th on that episode, but we just never had time to get around to it because all this shit happened with the filming and shit. But one of those clips that really fucking irked me was like John and I believe and Joey was like, pressing you to help them help Joey get to AC. It's like, if Joey is in fact in a coma, then obviously, like I said, you don't have to worry about that. But if this is all a work, which it probably is, that shouldn't be, again, your responsibility, man. So, I needed to say that because we're not going to get to the clip, obviously. But Chef Vola, is this the actual place here that this dinner is going to be taking place? Yeah, I guess it is. Chef Vola's New Jersey most exclusive restaurant is a hidden treasure. Wow, we should, instead of filming the comedy event, we should just go film the fucking dinner. That would be amazing. But be careful. Don't even have a...
Man, money's just fake, man.
Sorry about that. Shut up, Mersh. But be careful having your phone around these guys. A sheer fucking glimpse of your phone, and you might get your fucking hand broken. All right, let's continue on with these guys here. Let me make sure this is off the screen, and we will continue on this scheduled program. All right, Tony and Chad.
Nobody's laughing at Shuli on stage. He's bombing. No, from what I heard, he didn't bomb. It was an inopportune time to do that. But yeah, I don't understand the filming. You've gotten into trouble. Didn't you get punched by somebody who was filming, or am I confusing stories?
Punched by someone who was filming?
It was I think it was like 2 years ago. Didn't somebody like assault you on stage?
Yeah, but they weren't filming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I came up on stage.
I'm confusing a story where you went and took the guy's phone who was recording.
Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, I've taken people's phones. I did it one time when I was in Boca. Some guy was like, I saw him recording, so I was like, yeah, I'm taking that one, buddy. That's mine.
Yeah, I'm noticing that a lot of comics are getting really on edge over that.
They should be, Tony. You should be fearing that everyone around you is filming at any given time, whether it be spy glasses or a pen camera or a button cam. Just expect people to be filming, and this will happen. This isn't against the law. So until this is actually a written law in the U.S. fucking law of codes, people will film. People film. If you want it to stop that bad, then stop delivering us shitty, unfinished material, and we'll stop filming. Simple as that.
I think it was with Lewis and Aaron Berg about a year ago, and I noticed that while another comics on stage, like one guest said, or I was hosting that weekend, but they would kind of circle around to see people who have their phone out to see if they're recording.
Jesus
they're like,
Christ.
Put that away. And asking for where the manager is to make him put it away.
Jesus.
Ray is 50. Yes, he is.
Chad kind of just ignores Tony's point there. So I think we have two more clips from Tony and Chad here. Where are my clips? My time codes. All right, maybe just one more. 3210. Oh, this is funny. So this has nothing to do with filming or comics or anything like that. 3210. I just thought this was hilarious. Side note here, where Tony Mazur actually gets his news. I thought this was pretty funny. Let's check it out together. 3210 here.
I guess they were saying that there's a lot of Jews who are going to the gun ranges right now because of ever since October 7th, you're seeing a lot of Jewish people getting their licenses and going to the gun range. So it's kind of interesting.
So Tony is just dropping this random knowledge with the whole Jews, tunnels, and the Jews and Palestine and all that other horse shit happening in the world today. Tony brings up out of nowhere Jews, going to these gun ranges and working on their accuracy and, so on and so forth, which is very random. As you could see, this is confusing even to the likes of the Mud Shark, Chad Zumach here. He's kind of confused and worried to, the fact that where's Tony actually getting this news? He's going to ask the question. Tony's response is pretty remarkable. Let's check it out.
You're going to see a lot of the Hasids at the gun range.
Where do you get your news? Like, where are you finding all this shit?
I look, when I do my podcast, I do a lot of prep for my shows. So when I put in...
You would have fooled me. Again, you did a whole emergency episode about the Dallas Cowboys. How much prep can you actually be doing?
I'll take hours. I'll just find links and go through them. And that's what I do with my show. I don't...
People like Tony and people like SteelToe and a lot of other these guys, they think show prep is getting links from, r/cringe or TMZ, and they think by simply reading a headline is doing show prep. Like, that's not show prep, you fucking buffoon.
don't do Ray where I hit the record or the listen live button and go live and
The listen
hey
live
guys,
button.
I got nothing going on today. Just
So now, like Tony is making fun of Ray, which albeit equal, Ray and Tony are on the same level. Tony, you're not better than Ray. Like, yeah, Ray doesn't have a plan when he goes live. He just kind of goes on and hopes for the best. Like, that's his show prep. But like Tony, like just because you like have a couple links about Jews and going into firing range, like you know what I mean? Like your show stinks. Like Ray DeVito at least does numbers, right? So it's like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
we're just gonna talk. I've got a guest on, and I don't do
Like
that.
Ray?
I put a lot of prep with my show, so I will go
Again, you would have fooled me.
through a lot of these stories. And one of them I did see is that
You don't send the quad father a link and go, "Hey, buddy, what's up? Let's gossip about Chad."
Yeah, then when I have a guest on, I send them a link of things to talk about, so they're not blindsided. I'm not gonna, hey, do you want to come on my podcast? Yeah.
And imagine doing a podcast with Tony Mazer and like him sending you links, and now you got to do homework to do a show that does about 2 to 5 views.
This has been a very fun show.
Very fun show. Very fun
week.
Tony. Wrong soundbite. You get the idea though. Nobody wants to even be on your show, let alone do homework for your show, Tony. Get it the fuck together.
That's great. All right, here's the link. No, it's, hey, let's talk about this, and this, or maybe 2 topics, maybe 12 topics, but something to do.
Imagine discussing topics on a show. That is disgraceful.
Where you can keep the conversation going. That's what I like to do. It's not, here's the link, and we just start talking.
Yeah. I mean, these podcasts are so...
This guy, he knows just give it up. Give it up, Mazer. I'm really sick of this guy. I want to extend the challenge to Mazer, Ray DeVito, anyone who wants to see it. If I do wind up being in Atlantic City that weekend, we have to find ourselves inside of a gymnasium, a YMCA, and we got to run a fucking, a basketball game up to 11, win by 2, of course. And loser, I don't know, takes 6 months off from the internet or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if Tony Mazer is much of a ball player. I don't even know why I'm even saying this challenge now, but it's something I wanted to tell Ray when he called in on the show on Sunday. But I know Ray specifically always is making the claim that he's this high-level elite basketball player, at least he was, and he can knock down three-pointer after three-pointer, and he's like fucking AI. He's a mini AI. It's like, Ray, see me on a court, dude. See me on a court and put your money where your mouth is. Tony, I extend the challenge to you. I would say, let's do something else, but I don't know what. You name the challenge, and I'll oblige by your challenge. And the loser steps away from the internet for 6 months. Simple.
So bad. They're so bad. It's just like.
And Chad, this is the part that bugs me about Chad. It's like, you're making the claim that these podcasts are so bad, talking about whoever, SteelToe or whoever else. And your buddy Tony Mazer, see, then this is disingenuous because you're Tony's friend, right? And you're like kind of giving him an out here when you make the claim that other people have bad podcasts, but you can't put Tony Mazer in that same category because you two are friends. Tony's podcast is garbage. Get it? Capiche? So, stop lying to your friend. It's a bad look, Chad. Seriously.
I see these people I go, why are you watching this for real? Like, why are you, what are you getting out of this? Like, if you're going to Ray DeVito to get informed, you're dumb. He has no opinion.
I agree with that. Ray, though, again, people aren't going to Ray DeVito to be, there's maybe 2 people who actually go to Ray DeVito to be informed, and those 2 people we've highlight it, and I have on a big chalkboard here to stay away from forever. I have them blocked on all social media. But besides those other 2 people, again, Ray does almost 200 live views sometimes on a show, and it's like, Tony, for you to clown on that is insane to me, because, again, you can't even crack 15.
It's because people like to hate watch, and I just don't have the energy anymore. Maybe
this is the cope, right? We like to hate watch. Again, it's not hate watching. We're just making fun of you. You know what I mean? To devote my energy to get to the point of hating you. I mean that takes a lot from one's soul. It takes a lot from one's energy. I don't hate. Let me think. I don't really hate anyone. Melton, but I don't even hate Melton. I just think he's fucking a lying, cringe, fucking fat, obese person. You know what I mean? I don't hate him. SteelToe, I just think he's a fucking shameless e-beggar. I don't hate the guy. So we're not hate watching. We're watching and making fun of you. So again, these comics, like they have this delusion where it's like they could fucking be the one delivering the joke, but they can never be the one taking the joke. They can't be on the other receiving end of said joke because they cope and have to tell themselves and make up lies about what it is the audience is doing. Oh, they're hate. We're not hate watching. We're watching and then making fun of you. There's a difference.
20s, I could hate watch things. I don't hate watch. I watch, I listen to things I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy it, and I'll say it right now, I mean, it's not controversial, but I used to love In Hot Water. I don't watch it anymore. I don't listen to it anymore. Why not? It's not as interesting. So I've moved on with my taste. No offense, but it's just not that interesting anymore. Not very good. And I'll tell
Wow, you hear that, Gino? To be called not interesting from the likes of Tony Mazer really says a lot about your program, you bitch.
Yes, you know,
Gino's a bitch and a lib and an undercover fucking vaxxed person. But I mean, seriously, to be called uninteresting by the likes of Tony Mazer, I mean, I don't know. Those are fighting words, man.
Gino to his face. I'll say, yeah, I checked out a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
But tastes change. So I'm past the point in my life where I have plenty of time to just hate watch things I don't like. I want to listen and watch things that I do like.
Yeah.
Novel.
I got to play it for the first time this year. I mean, this is a huge fucking cope.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yeah, she's coping.
Yeah, I mean, this is insane. I mean, to go on, I mean, we used to make fun of SteelToe for saying the same thing. Oh, all they do is hate watch. All they do is hate. This isn't hate watching, you fucking clown.
Concept, right?
Again, you know, I'm not even going to waste my breath.
Yeah. No, I like I listen. My podcast is like, it's none of this shit. Like, I don't watch.
All right, so there you have. Chad's going to go into. I mean, they're just really trying to figure out a way out of this segment now because they've really dug themselves into a ditch. It's like, if we're hate watching, I mean, then Chad's hate watching too. So you know, I'm sniffing out a friendship built on fucking fakeness. Because again, Chad can't tell Tony that he has a shitty podcast, and Tony can't tell Chad that, in fact, Chad hate watches, right? And by Tony's standards, what Chad does sometimes to SteelToe or to NLO, I'm not saying this about you, Chad, by the way. This is Tony's words. But you're hate watching. So when you're making fun of podcasts and you're making fun of hosts and you're laughing at their expense, you're not just watching to make fun of them. No, you're in fact hate watching. So again, a friendship, this is the most fakest friendship I've ever seen. The last time I've seen a friendship like this was probably Corey and SteelToe, and we all saw how that ended poorly. So there you have it. That's our Mazer coverage for this week. This week in Anthony. Mazer, new studio and all with his on-air sign. I mean, how fucking cucked can you be, you bitch? I can't stand Tony Mazer. People are like, oh, he's harmless. He's cool. I've talked to him outside for 5 minutes. He's not. He's a fucking bore. All right, I want to keep it moving here. We'll check in with the chat. I have some Carl stuff I want to do. I want to get to this Earl stuff. I think we're going to do this Earl stuff first. And then we'll do it. I think we'll do the Carl stuff, or we'll do the Earl stuff. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do Carl, and then we're going to end with the Kill Everything stream, the Kill stream, which I'm very excited to get to. That's what we opened with today. It's the reason why we're all here today, probably. Let's check in with the chat for a sec before we get to this Earl stuff, and then we'll continue on here. Beloved Chatter says, Mazer is so unwatchable, you can't even hate watch. Well, then that's a whole nother argument, right? It's like, you can't even hate watch Mazer. You're watching and I've said before we start that segment, like, I'm practically checked out when I'm watching Mazer, but some things spark my interest, like when he says shit like that. Like, everyone that criticizes me essentially they're just hate watching. So it fascinates me, if nonetheless. B Smiley says there's 5 people that unironically support Ray, and even a few of the ones giving Ray money hate watch him. There's probably only 5 people he meant to say, right? It's not hate watching. It's car crash watching. Exactly. And we love watching that shit. I love watching that shit. Jay says Carla. LL says looking forward to the Carl stuff. He's gonna super chat crazy. He's gone super chat crazy. An emergency show every fucking day. Well, I want to preface by saying this: we don't have. It's not directed towards Carl all that much. It's a WATP episode, but it has to deal with Vinny Paulino. And there's a couple cringe clips I found with Vinny. So before everyone gets their hopes up here. But to speak on that Carl thing, because I know this is a hot button topic right now with Stuttering John and the whole Carl thing. I mean, the whole Carl thing, man, the way they it's always okay if they do it, right? It's always okay if they make fun of Stuttering John and Stuttering John's kids and they fucking go to the extremes and team up with, one another, Shuley and Carl and everyone else who makes fun of Stuttering. It's all right when they do it. But when Stuttering John comes back with a joke, they have to do 10 emergency episodes. I mean, I've never seen anything more desperate and pathetic than what Shuley and Carl do. And then, they just have these fans that just really turn a blind eye to whatever it is that they say. Like, no matter what Carl or Shuley does, there's dedicated sycophants that watch these motherfuckers. Melton's in this category too, although he doesn't do Stuttering John stuff all that much. He still does, but not all that much. They just worship what these motherfuckers say. It's unbelievable. You should never worship another man's fucking whatever they're saying, another man at all. One, and two, not an internet man. You know what I mean? Like a YouTube fucking podcast host. You shouldn't be finding yourselves like always agreeing with what they're saying, no matter how much you hate the person they're making fun of. You shouldn't always be in alliance with that. That's how fucking cults start, man. Not even with this show. I would highly advise people to check themselves at times. You know what I mean? Like, we encourage discourse. It's bizarre to me. It's bizarre to me to watch grown men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s completely fucking disregard, just sense and awareness. Completely disregard that because somebody like Carl is telling you to feel a certain way. It's alarming. It really is. And I've said this before. I'll say it again, though. But it's like, they'll do a study about this, whatever the fuck this is, in 10, 15, 20 years. And it'll be fascinating to see what comes out on the other end of that study. I want to jump into this Earl stuff. I got to take a break because I got to fucking pull a little mirror and drain the main one. So let's take a break. Or not take a break. Let's do this Earl stuff. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do some Vinny Paulino. And then we'll jump into the kills. And I think that's where we're going to put a pin in it for today. Yeah, we're still really good on time. So let's jump into it. Where's this Earl stuff at? All right. So Earl, we covered Earl, like I mentioned, on Sunday morning. Or the last show we did on Sunday with Al. And it was the first fucking thing we started with on Sunday. And we pointed out that Earl was going on stream with zero plan, zero goals. He was just kind of going on, just existing, collecting super chats. Even though he makes the claim he doesn't want your money, but he'll still take your money and then do nothing with it. He'll do nothing to upgrade his studio. He'll do nothing to put anything back into his show. He'll just kind of take your money and thanks, We called it out. We made fun of Earl. Now, again, people are like, how can you make fun of Earl? Earl's such a nice guy. And again, this isn't a question or debate of whether or not Earl is a nice person. Earl might be the nicest guy in the world. Earl might give to charities and cancer charities and he might do pro bono work and, volunteer his time for the, Salvation Army. And who knows what Earl does? I don't really actually give a shit. At the end of the day, I watch people who turn on their cameras or their laptops and their Blue Yeti mics and have no plan, have no sort of direction of where they want to take their fucking stream. They just kind of, we'll just wing it. and we'll sing karaoke. And that's what Earl did, and that's what caught my attention. Not to mention, Earl would always pop up in this stream. Earl, you might be watching now, so let's all say hi to Earl because he's probably watching now. I know he's actually watching now. Or watch back because he makes the claim, I think, that between Win by Two, Nobody Likes Onions, and I think MLC is like his 3 favorite shows. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So hi, Earl. How you doing? I'm glad you took some of my advice. Thank you for that. Thank you for at least being willing to listen. We're still going to make fun of you. Just because I think, we just watched Tony Mazur. Now, if you're going by my list of the biggest bores in this universe, it goes number 3, Pat, number 2, Mazur, number 1, Mr. Skakel. So it doesn't take away from the fact that you're still a ginormous bore, and that's all right. I mean, if you want to put your audience to sleep, I mean, who am I to stop you? We can only make fun of you. Now, Tony Mazur would have you think that I'm just hate watching you, right? I mean, it's funny, right? We're just hate watching Earl. No, we're not hate watch. I don't hate Earl Skakel. I think he's a bore, and anyone who watches his show probably watching right before they go to sleep, and then Earl just takes you over the edge. So Earl, we had a couple critiques for Earl. One being he had an Amazon package out. His microphone was, shitty for lack of a better term. He had that visor on, and Al was making fun of his hairline. So I want to show you the changes Earl has made here on his show. So here, we'll go to the intro. Let me just give it a quick refresh. This was Monday night, mind you. So I want to go to the intro. Mr. Skakel's here. Let's go to camera 2. And just let's observe the changes that were made from Sunday to this was Monday. So this was just not even 24 hours later, as we could see here, right past Earl's fucking face. All right, so there it is. No Amazon package. Fuck yeah, Earl. He got rid of the Amazon package. That's big. Big step forward. Give it up for Earl. No visor for Earl. Yes! No fucking visor. Another big step for Mr. Skakel. And then we're going to see his mic and his worriment about having good audio and good visuals come into fruition here in just a second. Earl Skakel, this is Monday Night Live. The Earlverse. Earl, take it away. There he is, holding up the twos.
What's up?
So confirmed, Earl Skakel is a Win by Two Nation Army guy. Confirmed right there. He's a chooser. Welcome in. We accept you.
What's up? What's up?
I did have a visor when I was
night.
12, says Happy Days.
Live stream with the new microphone completely hooked up and ready.
Dr. Joss is so boring.
To conduct.
Oh, it's boring.
Business.
Megamind people are putting. Oh, because Earl. Oh, yeah, Earl's got a ginormous fucking dome piece. He makes April's April's forehead look normal.
Oh, everything's going. I have access to that feature. Right. I love it. Let's see.
So this is Earl's stream. Again, no
Colt
plan.
C. Yo.
Colt C.
E-unit.
Colt C's an Earl guy, it seems. Colt, care to explain?
How's it sound? I'm using my new mic, Colt C.
So, within a minute, he's already conscious of the last stream sounding like complete dog shit. Now he's like thinking about and processing. Oh, I got to get my Win by Twos watching now, and people are critiquing my show. I never thought people, because Chad likes me and Patrick likes me, so they would never critique. But now Win by Two, I thought I said I liked his show. Why is he all of a sudden turning on me? So now Earl is very conscientious of having good audio, good visual, moving his Amazon package, taking off the visor, making sure his mic sounds good. This is all good stuff, Earl. This is a step in the right direction, as we call it.
Let me know.
Now, if I could just get you to remove this sign, or just get another sign, there should be no reason why you have a sign with your first name. Again, it would be fucking sane if I had a sign behind me or on this fucking monitor behind me that just said, John. You know what I mean? How fucking bizarre is that?
Well, it's a nice, intimate chat.
Intimate chat. He likes.
What up? What up?
There's Colt. Wait, there's Colt right there. He goes, yes, unclear if it was plugged in. I do giggle, he says. All right,
Does
so
it
Colt
sound
is
better
watching.
than usual?
That's funny.
Good evening, Earl. Thanks for joining me as I walk the dog. Thank you. I've got my new mic hooked up. Okay. Oh, good. Sounds great. So does it sound better than what it used to sound like?
No, it doesn't. I'm here to tell you it doesn't.
Okay, good.
And let me just break the fourth wall here. Blue Yeti microphones, they sound like shit. There's a reason why they're like $47. I'm not saying you have to buy a $400, after tax, almost $500 microphone like the Shure SM7B. That's not what I'm saying at all. But at least maybe buy a mixing board or just something. But a Blue Yeti microphone will always sound like shit. So you could put yourself in a soundproof room with the best fucking soundproofing, obviously, and it would still sound like shit. There's no workaround. Again, there's a reason why it's at the price point of $47. So look, now he's holding up his red Yeti microphone.
Good.
Like the baby Simba. He wants everyone to know that he's putting effort in. Look at this. I mean, this is right out of the fucking Lion King here. Red Yeti held up like the baby Simba. We get it, Earl. You're putting in effort, and I can applaud that. I can appreciate that. But now let's take it up a notch. Remove the sign and upgrade your mic to at least $100 microphone. I mean, you can get the Shure MV7. It's about $200. It's a USB mic. You plug your headphones in to the microphone, and then the microphone into your computer, and it sounds really good. So let's remove the sign and spend about $250 for your mic.
Now I got to work on the optics, the visual optics.
I mean, we have a long way to go for the visual optics, but I'm giving you one pointer now, and that's to remove the sign.
Yeah, you're right. This microphone has never been used. So if I can get a 3, 2, 1, hit it. Hit it.
As he drinks his Nas. There's certain people who drink energy drinks that has zero effect on. You know what I mean? There's no amount of caffeine in the world, or cocaine or crack cocaine or methamphetamine in the world that can get this guy Earl to, all of a sudden perk up and start tap dancing. You know what I mean? There's like, he's just, I can't even go to that register. You know what I mean? You're almost like borderline Joey C in a coma at this point. But he tries to drink the energy. I can appreciate it, I guess, but fuck, man. It's like, and you're a comic? You perform in front of people live? You charge people to see your... And this is what you're delivering to us on stream. Let's go to 3... I really got to take this break, so I'm going to try to breeze through this Earl stuff. Let's go to 720. Earl has a master plan. He has a grand plan for us, and he wants us to know what his plan moving forward is. Let's check it out. 720.
Where do you think Sal's Comedy Hall went wrong? I got to be honest with you. Sal's Comedy Hall was a local. It was a comedy club in the back of a restaurant.
R.I.P.
I
Joey
always
C.
thought it
Someone
was a
says.
money laundering operation.
April Zumach in the
it's all
chat.
boarded up and stuff.
Shout out April Zumach.
How's the volume on the mic? Is it good? I went online to see the optimal settings, so I hope it.
So if not for nothing else, we've gotten Earl Skakel to at least start researching optimal settings for his microphone. So I mean, I do feel like this was a success.
It's doing good.
Because again, some people like SteelToe, you have to remember, some people like SteelToe, they'll buck and they'll call you, they'll say what you're doing is hate watching, or you're just being a hater, or whatever the case is. At least Earl is putting the effort forward to try to make his streams a little better. That I could appreciate.
Sal always treated me well, but I was one of the funnier ones.
Now we just got to take it a step beyond what this is.
Oh, thank you, Prince Vince. Well, what I'm going to do,
Earl's plan.
I like getting a new iMac every 2-3 years, and I'm at that threshold right now. So I'm assuming the mic, I'm sorry, not the mic, but the camera would be a little clearer.
Nope.
I've looked into some 4K cameras.
4K, huh? That's pretty neat. Tell us more.
Oh, it sounds the same as it did last night? Really? Because I get other people telling me it sounds good.
It don't
So
sound
give me
great.
some microphone feedback.
It sounds like you're talking through tinfoil.
Then I don't know if I have to switch over any buttons on here.
Jesus Christ. Guys, make sure you're not driving on the
think
road.
I
This
do,
will put you
but,
to sleep.
I've been told, William, that it sounds better than it has. And I decided to manipulate my Wi-Fi before I started, so...
You're manipulating your Wi-Fi? Like, what, in fact, does that even mean? You're manipulating your Wi-Fi.
Okay, so AC/DC, it sounds better than it did, say, last night. I guess is the question I'm asking you guys.
No, it sounds shitty. And again,
I mean, the light's on.
It sounds good through my system here. I got compression on it, EQ on it, a little fucking... what else do I got on this bitch here? Let's check it out. Noise gate, compressors, EQs. So it'll sound better here. I could turn it all off. This is with it on.
On and stuff, so
you could tell it's on.
And it doesn't really go up.
Now this is with it off. Ready?
Yeah, I mean, I would get...
so that's on.
You know, it's funny enough.
This is off.
Or I guess during the pandemic,
it's just more
I was
reverby,
going to go over
echoey.
to Chris D'Elia's house because I really liked his...
Oh, so I completely missed this. So during the pandemic, you were going to go where?
I was going to go over to Chris D'Elia's house because I really
You
liked...
don't say. Chris D'Elia. Wow, the alleged child pedo guy, right? Chris D'Elia. So you and Chris D'Elia, in fact, bump elbows? That's pretty insane, Earl. And again, that was one of my... Well, actually, the only red flag I had on you is when you would come in my chat, you'd be like, where are the pussy? Very weird to say, to just enter a live chat and be like, hey, where's the puss? And now to find out that you're bumping elbows with Chris D'Elia, again, one of the biggest creeps, in my opinion, out there today. I mean, he's no different than, let's say Jeffrey Dahmer. He's probably on the same scale. Chris, the difference between Dahmer and fucking D'Elia is that D'Elia has money. His daddy works in Hollywood. So Chris has the resources to make himself look innocent. But, we all know what happened, D'Elia. There's a reason why 60,000, or not 60,000, but like 67 girls came forward, claiming that, you were harassing them in sexual matters. So now Earl was going to go. Now, this was in the pandemic, so mind you, this was years ago, but you think that Earl still doesn't hit up Chris D'Elia for advice and hang out and go to breakfast with D'Elia and grab Starbucks with D'Elia? That's pretty alarming, Earl. We're going to need Earl Skakel to disavow Chris D'Elia live on air. Can we get you to do that, Earl?
I was going to go over to Chris D'Elia's house because I really liked his setup. It seemed like very simple. And, I noticed that he had this.
Again, why are you holding up your red Yeti
on his desk?
Like Simba.
So, and, he didn't seem to do a lot of editing.
And Chris D'Elia doesn't have a nice setup. He's got a Shure SM7B and a wood paneling wall. That's really it.
But then, when the what went down, I just, I don't know, kind of decided to figure it out on my own. So, and once I sell a few more jerseys and whatnot, and
Jesus,
I have almost enough room to move this whole situation upstairs.
And by situation, you mean the sign that says your name, your Red Yeti mic, and your laptop? I mean, your upstairs is so crowded you can't fit a laptop and a sign. I mean, what are we talking about here?
And so we'll see what's happening. And I'm getting a lot of. This is the only time I'll bring up Dabbleverse stuff on my own.
So this is the thing he does. You can't bring up any Dabbleverse related stuff in his chat room unless you pay him $10, which I think is preposterous. I mean, first of all, the fact that anyone's watching you to begin with is a feat in and of itself. But now you're limiting you're limiting people's conversation. So you're in fact a communist, Earl. I did like you at the start of this video, but now I'm starting to think like you're no different than fucking Kim Jong-un. Benito Mussolini. You're trying to silence people and let people talk about the Dabbleverse. I mean, what's the big fucking deal?
I see some people commenting on Bob Levy's camera. I'll message Bob and ask him what kind of camera he uses.
Okay, Bob Levy doesn't have a good camera. It's his laptop camera. Chris D'Elia doesn't have a good setup. I mean, you need to get with it, Earl. For fuck's sake, dude. All right, let's go to one more clip. I really got to get to a break here. Holy shit, I'm about to burst. Mac, I was just watching it. Decline Host says I watched once, and he was just talking about hockey and wrestling. I didn't like it, says Decline Host. You hear that, Earl? People aren't liking your content. Let them talk about Dabbleverse. And if nothing else, he doesn't want Dabbleverse in his chat. I said, next time, Earl, you go live, let's bombard him with Dabbleverse-related topics and get him to talk about the shit, quite frankly, he doesn't want to talk about. Force his hand. Let's go to an hour 55. This is the last clip. I got to get the break. Earl, oh, so check this out. So we know he's a Chris D'Elia guy, which any guy who's a Chris D'Elia guy is sketchy to me, to say the least. We know he's a D'Elia guy, but he's going to get weird with the chatter here. So there's just what seems to be a female chatter here. Now, mind you, this is Monday morning. Earl's time is about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. There's a chick in the chat, or what appears to be a chick in the chat, and she goes, dream about me. A very innocent sort of thing to say, right? Watch where Earl takes it. Very creepy here. And then he's going to mention Win by 2 and how Win by 2 is one of his top 3 shows. Probably after this stream, Win by 2, you're probably never going to watch Win by 2 again, and I'm okay with that. Now, again, take nothing else out from this coverage here, Earl. You need to remove your sign. You can't have a sign with your name on it in the background and seem like a with it, smart sort of guy. So let's remove the sign. Let's get rid of the Red Yeti microphone, and let's disavow Chris D'Elia. And now we're going to have all my chatters here today bombard your chat talking about the Dabbleverse the next time you're live. So just keep those 4 things in mind. Listen to Earl here.
Buck. I'm really looking to get this my new model for this stream is the Justin Hawkins stream. I love what he does. I want it to look like that. And of course, I
don't know who that is.
When I start making money on the stream, I'll probably have to hire a producer to comment on clips and whatnot. No, I don't mean clips of the Dabble world. I mean, maybe I'll critique stand-up specials or something.
He hates Dabble. He has to let you know he hates Dabbleverse that much, but he like always goes on MLC. It's like I don't get it.
Something like that. I don't know how to do that on my own, to be honest with you.
It's not hard.
Can you sing just like Justin Hawkins? I love the Dark. I saw them at the Wiltern a couple of weeks ago. They're really good. Justin Hawkins did. I'll leave you guys with this story. He did the funny. I've been to 1,000 concerts. Literally, I probably been to 1,000 concerts, and so there's this guy in the front row, and he was kind of being annoying. You know, he was like had his cell phone up in Justin Hawkins' face. So Justin Hawkins said, "Hey, I can't do a good impression of him, but hey, can I see your phone?" So the guy gives him. gives Justin Hawkins his phone, and Justin Hawkins takes down his pants, sticks the guy's phone right up his ass, and I mean jammed it up there. And then he has the guy come on stage and record the next song. And the guy's like smelling his phone the whole time. It's so nasty. But then he gave out the guy's Instagram. So take what you'd pay a consultant, and I'll pay you that hourly to listen to me.
All right, here, check this out. I had the wrong clip up here. We're going to go to that clip now. Watch what Earl does to this chick at 1 hour 55. Where is it at?
Stream. Thank you, Pam. I am. You get some sleep yourself. I don't know what you look like, Stacy. Instagram me. DM me on Instagram right now a picture.
So a chatter in his chat is like, "Hey Earl, I'm going to bed. Dream of me." And he goes, "I don't know what you look like, Stacy. DM a picture of yourself. In my Instagram." It's like, Earl, I mean, come on, Earl. You're a 55-year-old man. Stop being a creep.
I won't show it to the chat.
Yeah, you won't show it to the chat, but you're going to use it when you get off in 6 minutes to, possibly spank the monkey. Gross.
But I can't dream of you if I don't know what you look like.
Jesus.
And no, I'm not being creepy.
Yes, you are being creepy.
Well, I guess I am.
Yeah, right.
You started it.
So he admits he's a creep.
So let's
all right, let's get to it, Earl. I mean, you really got to speak quicker, man. I'm about to really fucking
get all the
burst.
plugs out of the way.
I'm about to burst. All right, we got to just fast forward here.
So get your Coast fans. So
all right, this is what we're gonna do because I really have to use the bathroom. So we're gonna go on a quick break. This, I believe, Lance requested this song. This is $1 Billion Babies by Alice Cooper. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll finish up with Earl. We'll do the Carl stuff, and we'll do the Kill Everythings right after this. I'm sorry. I really have to use the lavatory here, so excuse me. Enjoy this song. This was requested by Lance, $1 Billion Baby. We'll be right back after this messaging here. Back. Welcome back into the show. Sorry about that. All right, let's continue on with Earl here. I want to get back into Mr. Earl Skakel. Shout out to everyone who stuck around. I just want to check Twitter, make sure we're good on all fronts. We're still good. Boom, 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 boom. All right, cool. We are still good to go. All right, let's go back to Earl. So this is where Earl's going to bring us up and let us know that Win by Two is one of his favorite shows. He loves Win by Two, and he is listening. So what I'm saying isn't going to just fall on deaf ears. Now, again, I want to preface all of this by saying when we critique shows, we don't want people to fight it like Tony Mazur, like SteelToe did, like a lot of these other guys do. They have to make up, fake scenarios in their head about us hate watching. We're not hate watching. We're simply just laughing at what you present to us on screen. And again, Earl looks fucking, half asleep here. So it's like, why do you think, your viewers, look, he's got like a worse fucking cross-eye than our good friend Mersh.
Man, money's just fake, man. Right?
This guy, Earl, it's like, get it together, man. I don't know what it's going to take, Adderall or something, but you got to develop a better plan than this. And we just want you to take into consideration, which I think you're starting to do because you listened to the Amazon package, the microphone, the visor, of course. But now let's take it all the way. First of all, like we mentioned, you shouldn't be friends with Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia is, quite frankly, one of the worst guys ever. Did I make the claim that Chris D'Elia was almost like Jeffrey Dahmer? I think I did. So you shouldn't be friends with D'Elia. You shouldn't be looking for Chris D'Elia for advice to do anything, unless you want to find yourself behind bars. And you shouldn't be looking for advice from Bob Levy for camera setups. Look at Bob Levy's camera setup. It's atrocious. It's atrocious. Disavow D'Elia and I'll help you out. I'll be your producer, Earl. You could do a show on Win by Two. Not on In the Pain podcast, but I'll give you your own show. I'll make you a fucking star, Skakel. Remove the sign. Break the sign. I want you to do this, Earl. Your next stream, because I know you're probably watching right now. Your next stream, get the sign and break it over your fucking leg. Snap it over your leg. And say, I disavow Dalia. I am no longer a Dalia supporter. If you could do that, I will give you the keys to the castle. How's that sound, Skakel? All right, listen to Earl here. He's going to profess his love to the great Win by 2 and Blade. Where's it at? Win by 2!
Everybody else, go subscribe to Win by 2 Radio. I like him. He's always fun in the chat.
Fun.
He's always a good dude.
Good
He
dude.
busts balls
Busts
once in a
balls.
while, but in the fun way.
way, of course. I mean, what other way would it be? Earl, check it out.
You guys might be just going to work. So have a good day at work. If you're ever in Los Angeles, let me know. I'll take care of you at the Comedy Store.
So he's whispering now. He's whispering. He's whispering. Now he's not saying anything.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, so someone in the chat, someone in the chat, is there, where are we at? 103.50. Someone in the chat, I think this is Detroit by Dark trying to drum up some shit here. Yeah, let's check it out. Detroit by Dark, the shit starter that Detroit by Dark is, goes, did you hear Win by 2 try to roast you on their last show? You'd get a kick out of it. And then this is Earl's response. So he reads it and he's got to process it and he's got to figure out how he wants to answer it. But he's watching. Watch, he's reading.
Oh, I didn't.
Watch, we got to go back. So,
Store.
Watch. All right, so we got to figure out when this chat comes in and then, all right, so look, the chat is in at 103.37. Count the amount of seconds that goes by from 103.37 to the time he answers this question. And no, he's trying to figure out an answer in his head.
And
so look, he looks down now. He sees the chat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, I didn't.
Almost 10 seconds.
I did not. What did they say about me?
What did I say
by
about
Dark.
you? Oh, you know, Earl. You watch this show. Stop trying to act like you don't watch this show.
Refresh your stream, Jarhead. That usually helps.
Earl reminds me like a poor man's Tom Hanks. You guys get that vibe? He just looks like poor man's Tom Hanks. If this would be Tom Hanks if Tom Hanks wasn't Woody. You know what I mean?
I did not. I can't imagine.
What? So now he's processing.
I've always been nice to those guys or that guy.
Talking about me, he's always been nice. He's always done nice things to me. Again, this is what these guys show their hand. They think by being nice, which again, I don't care for nice around here. I don't care if you fucking are nice to me or not, or if you give me money or you don't give me money. If you put on a cringe hack fucking show,
You fucking hack.
we're gonna make fun of it. Simply put, I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I mean? So you could be nice. You could write letters. You could do whatever it is that you do that you think is going to win me over. It's not going to win me over. If you put out this and expect me to just be like, oh, Earl's a good guy. He likes my show. You got another thing coming, Skakel.
But it is the Dabbleverse. So
what does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't.
Oh, because it's the Dabbleverse, we're not allowed to. Our critiques are invalid. Like, what is that supposed to mean, Skakel? This is war, Skakel. No, I'm just kidding. It's not war. But what does that even mean? What does that mean? Oh, it's the Dabbleverse. Okay, and
Stopped. I'll have to check it out again.
Oh, check it out again. Oh, I thought you didn't see it. Oh, I thought you didn't see it. So you saw it. You didn't think anyone was going to say anything because they hadn't said anything up until 1 hour and 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And now that you're asked about, did you see Win by 2's coverage? You didn't see it, coincidentally. But now you just out it yourself and you said, well, I got to check it out again. So which is it? Did you see it or do you got to check it out again?
I'll have to check it out again. He's very good with technological stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Well, like I said earlier, maybe you weren't
We're
here.
coming for you, Earl.
You call in for your spots on Monday.
We're coming. You should be afraid.
I'm not sure why. I'm on the highest internet I can get.
Your internet sucks.
Unfortunately. But we're probably going to end the stream now.
No, don't end the stream. We're just getting. We're starting to have fun.
Shout out to Win by 2.
Oh, shout out to Win by 2. There it is.
Me, I
Kudos to
guess.
Win by 2 Radio.
Thank you.
I don't know what happened to Joey C.
He's dead.
See, I don't listen to many of the dab. I've never listened to Joey C before, so.
Oh, I hate this. Oh, they'll listen It's like you're on MLC like twice a month. You know, it probably would, be in your best interest to listen to the Daboverse. Skakel, this is war.
I don't know what's going on with him. I do listen to Win by 2.
Oh, now you
I
do
like
listen
those
to me.
guys.
You love those guys.
With a guy.
It's
He
just
used to
me.
do it with a guy, but now he's
Right. Catch up. Al is on a part-time basis here. Catch up.
himself. So
And stop acting like you don't know, because you do know. What's that 50 Cent song? You don't know. Wait, how's it go? You don't know, acting like you don't know. I'll tear the club up, faux show. What's that 50 Cent song? Someone help me out in the chat, please, for the love of God. Nice try, Joey C. But Kumio already did the hospital bit. Keanu Thompson, Stan page says, good morning, Miss Keanu Deliciousness Thompson. Turbo Melendez says, what the fuck? Starting John's Fingernail says, why do Earl's toys have fecal matter on them? Do they really? Because that's something I didn't notice. I was too blown away by his the void of nothingness. This is the stream where time goes to quite frankly, stand still. If you want to fucking fall asleep or if you want to slow down time, tune into a Earlverse stream and time will cease to exist. Hi, Dawes says, oh, Keanu is in the chat. Shout out to Keanu Thompson. Just had Stuttering John on the big show. We got to bring back the slow clap, the golf clap. You know what I mean? So enough with this. You know, we just got to. That's it. You know what I mean? Okay, I just read that. Hawk the Clown says, who was the former Minnesota politician who was on Saturday Night Live and got Me Too'd? That's who Earl reminds me of. TK Suso says, Joey C. GoFundMe. Oh, no, fuck. Wait. Joey C's GoFundMe scam backfired. I saw that earlier. We live a polite golf clap. Come on, John. Time to revisit Keanu Cast and review her studio. Listen, Al Franken, says Dr. Chow, the Mega G. Locking Road King wants me to review Keanu's studio and wants me to go ham on the one they call Dylan Mobinsky. But, we reviewed Keanu's. Look, my problem isn't with Keanu. And I want to make that perfectly clear. Perfectly queer. And wait, I just want to point one other thing. Okay, never mind. It's too early for that. My problem isn't necessarily with Keanu. You know what I mean? My problem was never with Keanu. My problem was and always will be with Gino. I do find Mickey adorable. Mickey's a star. She's much like Dr. Chow in a lot of ways. Maybe Dr. Chow and Mickey should start a show. Maybe that would be the move, Dr. Chow. You can let go of Mir and Mickey could branch off from Keanu. But my problem isn't with Keanu. Again, we made fun of her studio because it was warranted to be made fun of, quite frankly. But she at least attempted to put forth some sort of effort. You know what I mean? I mean, the same can't be said to Earl Skakel. You know, this is the best you're gonna get from, or like at least Keanu tried. You know what I mean? At least Keanu. It's not a state of the art studio, but at least you tried. So I got to give that to you, at least. My problem isn't with Keanu. My problem isn't with Mickey. My problem is and will always be Gino Bisconti.
Gino's a bitch.
Tell Gino to keep my name out of his fucking mouth, by the way, Keanu. Next time you see him, be like, my betrothed, or whatever you call him. Keep Blade's name out of your mouth. I saw him on his show on Saturday. I was astonished. He's like trying to give me advice and trying to tell me, don't take the wrong path. Don't take the path. Do the right thing, John. Do the right thing. It's like, what? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? It would be like a homeless person trying to give me advice. I would just laugh them off and probably spit in their face. No, I wouldn't do that. That's assault. But I would do something insane. I'd probably film them. That's what I'm known for. Why are you trying to give me advice, Bisconti? It's like, give yourself the same advice. I just don't get it. What, because you're older than me, it makes you somehow smarter or like have more, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. Like I don't want to get off into a Gino rant. Obviously Gino's a bitch.
Gino's a bitch.
But Keanu, yeah, thank you. She says no to, just tell him to keep my fucking name out of his mouth and we'll be cool. We'll be square. I don't have a problem with you, Keanu. I did your show. I thought it went well. Thought it went great. The neck's feeling better, by the way. Thank you for asking. But that's really it. That's kind of where we stand. I don't really have an issue with you or Mickey. So for me to launch an investigation into Kiki Lou Studios, it's kind of, to me, it's whatever. There's bigger fish to fry. Like Chrissy Mayer and her child, her bastard child. Her fake child. I saw Keanu, we might cover, actually, I say we don't have an issue with you, but we might cover the Alex Stein stuff on Saturday. How was the Alex Stein show, Keanu? Call in, Keanu. You have the Skype. Call in. I just spit on myself. Canadian Tire now accepts Kiki Bucks. Yeah, what does one get with Kiki Bucks, by the way? You're always giving out these Kiki Bucks, but like, how do you cash in said Kiki Bucks? Call in, Keanu. You have the Skype. Call in. If I have my Skype open. Give him a break. He's our elder. Wow, at least she admits it. Chrissy Mayer and her Down syndrome baby. Jesus Christ. That's a sick burn. Locking Road King says CA. How did you type that? Yeah, see, look, Honk the Clown says, I've got two Kiki t-shirts I need to get. How do I get a hold of Michele for them, Kiki? And Stella says, I find it funny that Keanu refers to Gino as Bisconti.
Gino's a bitch.
Keanu then comes back and says, and we had a blast on Stein as always. We'll be back on. Oh, really? You guys are going back today? No shit. Keanu Thompson Stampede says, I have 600 million Kiki Bucks. That's fucking hilarious. The flag. Yeah, let's destroy Seabiscuit. What? That's fucking funny. Keanu, if you're not busy, call in. The Skype's open. You can call in. I'd love to chat. Let's get back to Earl, though. Earl's love for yours truly here. Win by dose. Let's check it out. Earl. Side note, before we get back into Earl, I did get you guys should go watch after this show, of course. Go watch the Keanu and my appearance on Keanu. At the very end, we were just kind of catching up on the events that happened last week about me being brutally, savagely jumped at the dojo of comedy. So, I mean, that's kind of everything I was saying on MLC and everything I had already said on my own show. But I caught her and Michaeline up to speed on their show. But at the very end, if not for nothing else, I think the biggest takeaway on that show was I was able to get Keanu. Now, I know LL is in this chat, and I know LL is an NLO fan, which is all fine and good. But I did get Keanu to disavow one Patrick Melton. So, when I'm going around and I'm trying to get Earl and other people to disavow people like Chris D'Elia, which is far worse than Patrick Melton, I don't just do it to just waste my breath or just hear myself talk. You know what I mean? I really feel like there's opportunities here, and I really feel like if taken seriously, we can really invoke some serious change with these people. We could really whip them into shape. You know what I mean? I think Keanu is on a better footing than Earl Skakel. I think she is in a better place in her career than Earl Skakel, especially when Earl, she was just supporting Melton because she was maybe confused. Earl supporting Chris D'Elia. That's atrocious. That's a war crime.
Jarhead $1.99. Earl bad connection. Jarhead, everyone else seems
It's the last
to be,
clip we're doing of Earl.
Doing well with the connection, so I'm not sure, but thank you.
This is Earl's stream, by the way.
Let me type thank you.
It's like why do you need to type it, bro? What a fucking boomer, dude.
I don't know what's going on with Joey C. I guess I listen to MLC the most. And then outside of them, Melton.
Of course. And then
win by 2 a little bit.
There it is.
Okay, everyone, the connection seems to be getting bad. That's probably people waking up, getting on the internet. I'm going to sleep
So,
now.
in fact, Earl Skakel confirmed today. Bye, Earl. Win by 2 forever.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome, Earl Skakel. Earl Skakel, everyone. One more time. Boring Earl Skakel. Big win by 2 fan over here. Earl, again, you know my list of demands. It's time to meet my list of demands. If not, you're a sworn enemy of mine, and we will go to fucking all-out combat war, Earl. I will unleash the beast. I'm just kidding. I won't do anything that's going to harm you, of course. But, I will attack you verbally. So be aware. Meet my list of demands, and everything will be cool. Earl Skakel. All right, I want to keep it moving here. I've spent too much on, quite frankly, boars. Right? Disavowed. Take that, Patrick. Wow! Is LL disavowing one Patrick? That would be amazing. And if true, it would be awesome. I don't expect... Look, I'm not here... It's a slow burn, right? Because you have to remember, put yourself back in the winter of 2023 when we were one of the first, if not the first, podcast to go after SteelToe in the way we did. Melton, Chad, you can make the claim Chad was going after SteelToe, but that was only because SteelToe was going after him. I'm saying as an outsider, we were probably the first podcast going after SteelToe at the time. And we were met... Am I still alive? The fuck just happened? What is going on here? Please tell me I'm still alive. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm still alive. Fuck, am I not live? I think I am still alive. What the fuck just happened? Everything just went black on me. What the fuck is going on? Am I still alive, guys? Help me out here. I hacked you, says Steve S. 0.51. Okay, I am still alive. Joey C is attacking, says Logging Road King. Did anyone else see that Sketty 2 says 3? That was insane, huh? Detroit by Dark puts a 1. Looks like somebody needs to improve. See what she did there? Sick burn. I've been lagging periodically, Happy Day says. No, don't tell me that. Earl's Revenge. Yeah. 7, someone puts. Nice. You are good. I've been lagging periodically. That's not good, huh? All right, hold on. We're going to check something real fast here. Give me a second. Oh, look at that. I'm like slow right now. What the fuck is going on? Is that slow to you guys? All right, hold on. We might need to take a second here. I'm like in slow motion. CPU's at 70%. What the fuck is happening? Maybe my Skype's open and that's why. Give me a sec. Let's shut that down. I opened Skype for Keanu to call, and this is the thanks I get. Give me a second here, guys. Give us 1 sec. We'll be right back.